Gainesville.
That is very true. That is very true. Oh, you wise one. Well, then, hello, Barry. Well, I know Barry's not on the road to
I know Barry's not on the road.
Gainesville. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Hey, can you hear me now?
We got you. We got you, Bear.
All right, good. Okay.
Well, I was going to make it sound really dramatic by saying some may be playing their last game of the season tonight. Some may be playing for a playoff seed. Some may be playing for a conference championship, I should say. So a lot is on the line tonight in so many different ways. And we have circled, and it's been a big circle. We have had this game circled
since August,
maybe July. Maybe July.
Yep.
You could see it coming after all the events that played out this spring with Buck moving from Bryant to Conway. You kind of sense this one might be for a lot of marbles. So, Barry, let's start off right here in Conway, Arkansas. The Bryant Hornets, the defending state champion, 5-time defending state champion, making the journey from Bryant to Conway to take on the Wampus Cats.
Guys, this is a game we've had circled since May 30th. When Buck James resigned about 10 or 11 a.m. and was at Conway within 2 hours to address the team as head coach. You could kind of see it coming. And earlier this year, there were some worries, some doubts that both teams would get here for a conference championship. But they both have righted the ship and fixed some of the flaws that they had. Bryant's won 6 games in a row. And the only loss came to Parkview, who's the number 1 ranked team in 5A and maybe the best or one of the best teams in the state. This Bryant team is loaded on offense. James Martin, Matori, and Singleton really are playmakers. You just got to get those guys the football, the defense, hard-hitting. I hate to say they've been in cruise control because they dictate games. They're so dominant. Conway, meanwhile, we're coming off a big victory over Jonesboro last week by 43 points. Donovan Amalo, he's the senior quarterback. Chris O'Neill, big-time receiver. This defense with Jonas Cecil and company has been just fantastic all season long. Hootens.com picks number 1 Conway in a nail-biter over number 4 Bryant.
Let's go to the back part of our doubleheader tonight, which will happen in Greenwood. Little Rock Christian heads up Highway 10, I-40, whichever way they want to go. They're going to be at Greenwood tonight, who's carrying a 60-game winning streak at home, guys. Think about that for a minute. So for the last 10, 11 years, if you count home playoff games, you're, up there in the 9-10 year mark. So this should be one heck of a game. I know our Buzz crew will be there later tonight. RJ Hawk, Kyle Sutherland, Josh Neighbors for the call. And that game, I think, is just as big as this one, guys.
I think you're right. The remarkable thing about Greenwood, last week when Pulaski Academy scored on the first possession, after Greenwood had scored and missed the extra point, PA went up 7-6. That is the first time all season that Greenwood has trailed. Think about that. You're in week 9 and you trail, and it didn't last but 2 to 3 minutes. So this is a team that is dominant from the get-go every week. They've got a terrific game plan to score early and then to keep pouring it on. Kane Archer, the standout sophomore quarterback, 8 touchdowns against PA last week. 5 passing, 3 rushing. They had 4 receivers catching passes last week, and the defense with Cash Archer, Kane's brother, Braden Skaggs, Caden Nams, those guys all played extremely well. Meanwhile, you got a Little Rock Christian team who's won 7 straight after losing to Shiloh Christian, and every one of those games they've won by the sportsmanship rule, and they've allowed 10 points since they gave up 13 to PA back in mid-September. So This is a team very dominant on defense, rolling along on offense with an SEC committed quarterback in Walker White. And in Preston Davis, Cooper Jones have really came on in the linebacker positions for this team. That was the word early in the year, is that if you're going to beat Little Rock Christian, it was going to be with making their linebackers make mistakes. Well, they've shored that up and done a great job of it. I think this is another really good game that goes right down to the wire. Will not be surprised if these two teams meet again in Little Rock to decide a state championship on the first weekend in December. Hootens.com picks number 1 Greenwood to beat number 2 Little Rock Christian.
All right, Bear, I'm going to back up to last night. There are very, very few games that always match up to the hype.
That's right.
When you've got two communities as close as they are, and whoever turned out the light, he had to be the last one
in both towns
that left either town. And over 2,500 people showed up last night to watch the Murfreesboro Mineral Springs matchup, and it met the hype. Both teams came into last night's game allowed through 9 games 63 points each. It was identical, and when they left, it took overtime to decide it. Bear, Murfreesboro, did they pull the upset in knocking off Mineral Springs 12-6?
Sure. I think it was an upset. Mineral Springs had been the number 1 ranked team, and they had been mercy ruling everybody, but you knew this was a Murfreesboro team, also unbeaten. They had some close games throughout. They beat Mount Ida by 2, and Mount Ida had injuries that game. And in fact, last week we knew they were looking ahead over Lafayette County, but they struggled to beat Lafayette County, beat them by 14 points. When you start looking at scores, which you can't do, it looked like Mineral Springs might run away with this game. What we saw, though, was Murfreesboro, some sound defense. They contained Contravian Thomas, KT, for Mineral Springs like nobody has in 2 years. This is a guy that's gone off for over 100 yards in every game the past 2 years. They just absolutely shut him down, or contained him at least. Gave themselves a chance to win it in overtime, and they capitalized, did so. Great victory for Murfreesboro. The Rattlers get the number 1 seed, and it'll be interesting now to see how these two teams bounce out of this game. Mineral Springs, such high expectations. They, a week or two ago, they trailed a couple of times, and was the mojo gone? That was the question. What if you could lead them at halftime? What if you could be tied with this team at halftime? Could they come back and win a game in the second half? I think that's something Mineral has to prove from here forward. And for Murfreesboro, they can't get too caught up in winning a conference championship because they have to turn the page and get ready for the playoffs in 1 week.
Bear, I think this time of the year, you found out a lot about teams that have been blowing people out and not having to play a full game. You find out a lot about them when they have to play a close game and what they're going to look like in the playoffs. We've seen that a lot in the past. A team will go 9-0, lose their last game, which is a close one, and then fall out in the playoffs. You see that every year to where teams just haven't been tested, and then they get punched in the mouth and just kind of fall apart. So hopefully Mineral Springs, KT Thomas, one of the most dynamic players in the state, he can bounce back from it. Class 2A, you had another overtime game. This one, a double overtime game last night. EPC and Mark Tree, they wrapped up conference last night. EPC getting the win 38-32 in double overtime.
Yeah, Mark Tree, quarterback Kenyon Carter, played outstanding. EPC has now won 8 in a row. Dennis Gaines, the running back out of the game, came back and actually won it for him in that second overtime. He had been injured. Man, he was a difference maker, and lots of people were thinking the winner of this game will get a decent playoff draw. If they can stay healthy, have a legit shot at making it to War Memorial Stadium. Personally, I've been impressed with Mark Tree's defense the past few weeks. I mean, this is a team that early and even in midseason, they couldn't stop anybody. They were giving up 6, 7, 8 touchdowns a game, just having to outscore people. Lately, the defense has gotten much better, and that's good to see. Our Class 2A game of the week, guys, is Carlisle at Hazen. And it's going to have a hard time living up to the 2 conference championships we saw last night.
Absolutely.
2-2A and the 3-2A. Now you got the 4-2A title on the line. And last week we had the 1-2A title on the line with the Bigelow Conway Christian, a game that went in the fourth quarter. So Class 2A is wide open, and I think there's 6, 7, 8 teams capable of winning the state championship this year.
All right, Bear, this from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. This from the 870 Glenwood to be exact. Center Point at Bismarck.
For a high playoff seed, this is one that Bismarck comes in the game a 7-2 record, Center Point 5-4, the number 2 playoff seed on the line. The loser's going to get that number 3 seed. The Beavers of Glen Rose really took Center Point and great defense. That Center Point offense that had been. So they've got to bounce back from that. Bismarck, meanwhile, they had an easy one last week over 2 Rivers. Pulled their starters with 6 minutes and 27 seconds left in the first quarter. They were up 37-0. Coach Keithley said his biggest challenge is they haven't, or his biggest concern is they haven't been challenged since week 6. So how do they bounce back? Basically a month with playing starters, a quarter and a half, and in last week's case, less than a quarter. So how are they prepared to handle Center Point? Hootens.com is picking Bismarck. I think this is a pretty good league with Bismarck and Center Point both being teams capable of making runs in the playoffs.
That's a real good pick, Barry. I got to agree with that one. Let's stay in Class 3A, Northeast Arkansas, Hoxie and Walnut Ridge. Back in the day, it was Osceola, Newport.
Yep.
Every year, Osceola, Newport.
Yeah.
Now the guard has changed. You got these 2 teams going after the Bobcats and the Mustangs, all for conference supremacy tonight.
And Hootens.com has both of them ranked in the top 10. Hoxie, undefeated, ranks number 6 with a 9-0 record. Walnut Ridge, perfect in conference play, just like Hoxie. Walnut Ridge is 7-2 overall, ranked number 8 in the state. They're on a 3-game win streak. Mercy ruled Manila last week, and it's the same playmakers. The quarterback, Jersey Cunningham, running back Enrique Perez. Those guys show up every week. Hoxie, undefeated, as we said. They beat Osceola by 20 last week. Caden Glenn, Camden Brooks, both played well. Last year, they're going to have a hard time matching up to what this game did last year, a 1-point game, 7-6. Expect another close one. I don't think we can get any closer than a 1-point game, but we might duplicate it, guys. Hootens.com picking Hoxie and another squeaker over Walnut Ridge to win a conference championship tonight.
I don't know if the wind is causing the echo. 870 says, please fix the echo. Randy in the 501 says, turn the dang radio off at Barry's location. I don't think Barry's got a radio going in the background. But
Okay, I think we're good now.
Yeah.
It might have been ours out here.
we may have been creating the echo. Okay. All right, Bear, we do have the wind. So if you hear a lot of whipping with our microphones, we're doing everything we can. If you're trying to watch us by way of the Buzz cameras,
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going old school offensive coordinator here, covering up my mouth.
We look like we're trying to hide. No, we're trying to block off the wind. So if you're watching this on YouTube, whatever it may be, we'll have to wave at you. And every once in a while, let you know we're still here. All right, Bear, this also from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. Who wins between Lamar and Central Arkansas Christian in the 4-4A?
Man, guys, we started out last night with nearly 20 playoff scenarios in the 4-4A. We're down to about a dozen.
20.
And
count that, Randy. 20.
How everything pans out. I could spend an entire segment reading you if this team wins, what's going to happen and the number of points. But we'll spare all that and try to sort it out tonight. But important game, conference championship on the line. I think at this point, the biggest Lamar fans on the planet is Pottsville. Pottsville gets in the playoffs if Lamar wins. They really need that to happen. And Lamar leads ties for a conference championship with a victory. CAC will be the number 1 seed with a victory. So it's very important to both teams. Lamar's defense last week, they rallied past Clinton, and that defense recovered 5 fumbles in the second half and had 2 fourth down stops to kind of lead them on. And then Catherine, the junior quarterback, he played outstanding, scored the winning touchdown with 40 seconds left in a 6-point win over Clinton. CAC has won 2 games, 2 really close games the past few weeks. And this is a team that had won 4 games total the past 2 seasons. And here they are playing for a conference championship. 2 weeks ago, they put up nearly 500 yards against Dover. Expect a strong rushing attack from CAC. I think this is a shootout, and it may not be the first team to 50. It may be the team with the ball last to score that 57 or something to win this game. Hootens.com picks Lamar over CAC. Just think CAC is going to have a hard time stopping Lamar in the fourth quarter.
I like that pick as well. And Bauxite got a big win last night over their rival Haskell Harmony Grove, second year in a row that Bauxite's pulled out a win. They won 28-14. Bauxite finishes at 6-2 in that conference, 7-3 overall. So at worst, they'll tie for a conference title. But Bear, I want to go to Class 6A real quick. Yep. A game that matters for seeding in Class 6A, the 6A East. Catholic travels to Marion. And Barry, after watching Catholic last week, they've got to get Brooks toward the ball more. And I don't care how they do it. They did some things out of the backfield with him last week. Had some targets early on, but he's such a dynamic player. I think he could be if Catholic wants to pull off this win tonight.
Playmakers in all of Class 6A. He only averaged 11 yards a catch last week. Step up. Dominic Keaton running the ball. They've got to get all these guys involved. This is a team that was up 21-0 and just folded last week in the second half to El Dorado. How does Catholic bounce back? Marion has nothing to play for. Marion is the 2 seed, regardless of what happens. They have a bye next week, so it will be interesting to see how Coach Clark approaches this game as far as time management with his players and everything. One thing Marion's going for, the only thing really that Marion is going for would be a 9-1 record. That would be a school record for the regular season, 9 wins. So that's something Marion may be going for. Catholic's got so much to play for. Hootens.com picks the Rockets. I guess you could call it an upset at Marion. Rockets really need a win to improve their playoff position.
Let's check in with Navy Mike. Mike, good afternoon. Welcome to our Sonic Blast.
Hello, Randy.
What's up, Mike? How you feeling?
Pretty good. I've got like a cold, so bear with me if I don't sound like myself. But I was just wondering what these guys thought of the Clarksville, Dardanelle matchup. Clarksville's had a rough year. Obviously, they won the first game, and they have yet to win another one. And I think it would really set the tone for next season if they could close this out with a win over Dardanelle, because Chris Buckner is the head coach of Clarksville, and I went to school with him. I remember like in high school he was like he took us to the state semifinals. So I just wondered what you guys' thoughts were on that matchup, because I think I believe in him. I know the guy personally, so I think he can get them there. It's just you gotta have the kid, and right now he doesn't. But what do you guys think? And I'll hang up a listen. Thank you.
Well, the big news was in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Chris Buckner has resigned.
Absolutely.
At the after the conclusion of tonight's game with Dardanelle. So did the players lay it on the line for their coach?
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
How do we want to send your coach out? So that'd be my question. On paper, it doesn't even look like it should be a contest, simply because how they have struggled this year. Clarksville has struggled, but And you know, Bear, I mean, where do they go from here? That's the greater question. You hate any coach to resign. I don't know if he's under pressure or not. He's made the decision. He's moving forward. But bottom line, what can they do to improve the program? Probably, I would make the call and see if Buck James was available. If Buck's available, I'm going to say,
head to the River Valley coach.
Come on, Buck, come on down. You're really close to Whataburger that way, Buck. All right, we'll step aside. Buck James up next, head coach of the Conway Wampus Cats. You thought I'd slip up there, didn't you?
The Bud Light Little Blue Book is back on Drive Time Sports. Each Thursday at 4, Randy will open the Bud Light Little Blue Book, giving you a chance to call in and give your predictions like a pro. You can also submit your predictions on live fan feedback and the Buzz text line. Just give Randy the correct final score for the upcoming Razorback football game and the tiebreaker, and you win money, courtesy of Bud Light. It's the Bud Light Little Blue Book only on Thursday nights on 103.7 The Buzz. Full list of rules at 103.7buzz.com.
Hi, neighbor. It's Garen. Have you been denied a new roof by your insurance company after storm damage? You won't be denied at Shamrock Roofing. Give us a call or visit us at shamrockroofer.com. Right now, we're offering a free impact-resistant roof upgrade. Plus, if you've been denied coverage by your insurance company after the storms, you automatically qualify to win a new roof for free. Just visit shamrockroofer.com for details. Shamrock Roofing, where one call does it all at shamrockroofer.com.
Once a year, Saracen gives away a coveted BMW to one lucky winner. This month is that special time, and you could be the winner of an amazing BMW X5 SUV from Saracen Casino and BMW of Little Rock. Play to win a top-of-the-line BMW SUV only at Saracen Casino Resort. Just a short 40 minutes away, Saracen Casino is Little Rock's closest place to play and win a BMW X5 SUV.
Saracen Casino Resort, Vegas, Arkansas style.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agent Paul Griffin in Monticello, Sam Eklund in Star City, or Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff.
David Dunn here with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. We're the area's largest and highest rated independent diesel repair facility for all makes and models. Transmissions and brakes to suspensions and engine repair. If you're tired of high dealership prices and long wait times, come see what family-owned and locally operated really means. Expert technicians and the latest computer diagnostics will get your equipment back on the road fast. Take the England exit on I-440 to Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. 568-2185. That's Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer.
If you're ready to upgrade your old ATV or side-by-side, then get in line for the all-new Tracker Off-Road 800SX Waterfowl Edition at any Bradford Marine and ATV statewide location. The Tracker Off-Road 800SX Waterfowl Edition comes standard with front and rear quack racks and is fully equipped for the hunt. Come get the best deal of the hunting season and save over $3,000 with special financing available. Hurry in to Bradford Marine and ATV and claim your Tracker Off-Road 800SX with standard quack racks today. Your authorized Tracker Off-Road dealer.
Have questions about retirement, investments, or your money? Call our financial hotline. Dial 501-381-5228 and leave a voicemail with your specific financial question, and our experts will answer it on the Get Ready for the Future show Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Get your financial questions answered by the pros. 501-381-5228. Call now. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and Jamal Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Anybody that goes to Tacos for Life is going to say, hey, I want to go back again. And he was going to do that. But I also need to tell you about what I was eating that day. You know, it's their new kind of a, it's only for a while. It's the bacon barbecue ranch taco. And it was really, really good. Now, it's not surprising because everything they have at Tacos for Life is good. But if you like bacon, you like barbecue, this taco was loaded. I mean, it was spilling over at the top. So you're going to love the bacon barbecue ranch taco. If you'd rather have it in a salad, you can get it that way. If you'd rather have it as a quesadilla, you can get it with chicken or pork. It's absolutely wonderful, and that's new right now at Tacos for Life. What's not new is the fact that every time you buy a meal at Tacos for Life, you are helping support someone whose food is insufficient. And to this point, in slightly less than 10 years, they have given away over 31 million meals. Try the new Bacon Barbecue Ranch Taco and help someone out at Tacos for Life.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas. Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to our Sonic Blast today here in Conway. We are now joined by head football coach Buck James, but I need to talk about Robert Irwin Jewelers for just one moment. The 46th annual anniversary sale is ongoing. And whether you're looking at engagements, anniversaries, birthdays, congratulations, I love you, I'm sorry, whatever the occasion, a Robert Irwin Jeweler item is going to hopefully make everything all right or take it to another level. And during the 46th anniversary sale, you can save on engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond earrings, diamond pendants, gemstone jewelry, and gold chains and bracelets. You can find it all at Robert Irwin Jewelers, whether it's from $100 to $100,000. They have the perfect gift idea for your special occasion. 2 locations to serve you. That is Mall in Little Rock and in the Pleasant Ridge Town Center, Highway 10, Cantrell Road, next to the Fresh Market. That is Robert Irwin Jewelers. What's up, buddy?
Hell, not much. They're here to this football game here tonight.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, they're already lining up 4:30.
I can't imagine all these people, what they're thinking.
Well, I don't either. I see all these shirts with like they're deer hunting. I don't know what's going on. Maybe somebody should have told me something.
Well, we have already said, though, Buck, we circled this back on our calendars back in July. But we had the privilege, if you will. We could look as far ahead as we wanted. You always have to play one game at a time. But this is going to be one. I understand over 4,500 tickets have already been sold in advance.
That's what I'm told. I heard that there was, with passes and tickets sold, right at 5,500 people.
5,500.
And that's before the people that pay to walk up and buy a ticket.
Yeah, which they're going to start at 5:20 from what we heard a little bit ago from administration. And we've already got people lined up right here at 4:30 to get those tickets. So should be. How many will it hold out here?
Well, I think the seating will be somewhere around 8,000.
Okay.
8,000. Wow. That is a lot of folks. Look behind you, Buck. That is the old T-shirts you kept sending to me, and there should be one that's got Conway on it. I'm not sure where it is, but
I see Bryant.
Oh, you got the wrong. Okay, it's out. It's still out in the car, but
yeah, that's great.
That's all right.
That's great.
You sent me one of the ones that I have on one of the quilts is one of your 2020 championship ring. And you were nice enough to send me 2 or 3 of those. So I think I've got 8 total blankets, and Conway is on at least 2 of them, and then the Bryant championship ring is on several of the others. So both Conway and Bryant are well represented on the Sonic quilt. Kind of take us through the process, Buck, from back when you landed in Conway to where we are today.
Well, I landed here really early June and right before the dead period. So really all I got to do was watch a little bit in June, and then really didn't get my feet wet till July. And we went to work trying to develop strength and discipline in the weight room and, team camps and 7-on-7s. And, next thing you know, you're playing week 1, and we go to Bentonville and we play really good in the first half, and then we disappear in the third quarter and then come back and play really good in the fourth quarter. And ever since then, we've sort of been rolling. Our football team has responded to what we've asked them to do. I think I get too much credit for what we've been able to do because, I'm the only guy here that's new. Everybody else has been here. All the players are here. All the coaches are here. And, these guys have done a tremendous job. I told our seniors today that probably one of the most partial groups I probably ever had as far as a standpoint of them buying in, and I'm partial to what they've been able to do. They're a special group of young men. They took something when they were doing it pretty good anyway, and then tried to make it a little bit better. And had my vision was their dream, and so far it's worked out. We've got still big mountains to climb. We still got big opponents to play, and Brian is where we want to be. That's where we're trying to build and model our program after what Bryant's done. And I have a lot of respect for those kids and coaches there. I mean, all those guys coached with me last year. I coached these guys up till June, and this is a bittersweet thing. And really what I get to do tonight is I'm a blessed man from the standpoint that I've got 200 kids out there tonight that have played under my tutelage and been in our system. And, to be able to live that and experience that and to get out there and watch it, I think is probably one of the most special things in the world.
Coach, you were talking with us off the air a while ago. 2003 was the first time you were interviewed by Randy on the Sonic Blast. What is the one common thing that you've brought into Star City, Camden, Fairview, Bryant, Conway, all those schools? What's the first thing you come in and tell your kids to be successful?
Well, we're going to be the strongest team in the state. We don't just talk about it; we do it. I mean, we go in there and we lift 4 and 5 days a week, and we marry the weight room. We marry an identity of being tough, being strong, being disciplined, play great defense, be versatile on offense, do what our kids can do, and try to be sound in the kicking game. I mean, it's not anything that I've invented. I stole everything I know. We ask our kids to have a belief system in the program. And it starts in the 7th grade and should stop when they're seniors and then carry on to life. I think we teach a lot of life lessons as well. And, I see that because I've had guys that played for me in the early 2000s that are coming to this ball game, and to be a part of this football game today. And, I think the kids that play for me know that it's tough, but I think they understand the process and what it's about. And it's a brotherhood. I think that's what it is in a nutshell is the guys. It's sort of like being in the military, sort of like being in the Army, but also be able to spend the night at your best friend's house. I think it's all the things that a kid needs and be a part of to maybe grow as an athlete and as a person.
I can figure out, Kevin, how he managed to keep all of his hair and his beard and everything. He looks just like he did back in 2003. Now look at me. Somewhere I got shortchanged on this deal. Buck, rather than starting and talking about your offense, I want you to start by talking about your defense. Your defense has been super impressive this year.
Well, they have, and Clayton Pankey, our defense coordinator, is doing a heck of a job. And, we're young. We only returned one starter on defense. And, we had a couple guys that started late of the year, but Ben Chandler, our Mike linebacker, is really the only starter we had that played all the way through last year. And what these guys have been able to do, it's been phenomenal. And, we've gotten stronger. We've gotten tougher. We've gotten where we move better. But we're going to play a team tonight that can run the football just as well as they can throw the football. And it's going to be a great test. I think if anybody remembers when I went to Bryant, the nemesis was North Little Rock. And, they beat our brains out for three different times before we ever got a chance to play them in the state championship, and we beat them. And I think we got to see the monster. I think to be able to beat the monster, you got to see the monster. And our kids have got to go out there and see the speed and level that these guys play at. And then we've got to make a decision whether we won't be in the middle of that hornet's nest or not.
Literally. Coach, I want to go back and I'll talk about the offense, and I want to talk about 2 seniors that you have on that offense, Donovan Amolo and Chris O'Neill. One of the best dynamic tandems in the state of Arkansas as far as pitching and catching. What has it been like to have a 3-year starter that you mentioned buying in and really jumping on board? What has he brought to the team?
Well, Donovan's a special young man. I don't think people understand how good a person he really is and what kind of teammate he is. But he's got unbelievable creativity. He throws people open. He's got great imagination. I compare him to Austin Ledbetter and Schrader. Combination. I Dominique Reed and Jim Youngblood type thing. I've had this combination a few different times, and I think it's something that they've got a niche for each other, and I think they understand what's going on. And I think Chris is a dynamic player. I think he's a lot like Dominic Reed, to be honest with you. I think they're very similar, just a little bit shorter than Dominic, but I think they're very similar the way they run, their actions, the way they catch the ball. I think Chris probably works a little harder in practice than Dominic did, but I think very similar guys. And they've been fun to watch. They've been a couple of guys that really have fun doing this, and they sort of know what each other are going to do. And they've been a good tandem.
The culture was somewhat established, Buck, when you came in. Coach Fimple set a foundation. What tweaks did you put the Buck James touch on it, so to speak, the Buck James culture?
I can go a little deeper. I mean, you go back to Coach Kenny Smith. And,
sure.
He was hard-nosed, tough, a great
early
ball
90s.
coach. Yes, a great ball coach. And, probably the most revered coach I've ever been around. I mean, this community loves Kenny and what he does for what he did for Conway, and nothing but utmost respect for Keith Fimp. Played each other a lot here over the last several years. And, I think the only twist, I think he had the program and said, I think he's done a good job with the junior high of getting some changes made in that area. And, he sort of revolutionized some things. And really the only thing we've probably done a little bit more is in-season lifting. Everything else is pretty much the same. I think what Keith was doing was on the right track. I just think you look at it, you can't argue with any of those guys' success.
Sure.
I mean, they all won 10 games or more every year. They were right there in the middle of a conference championship year in and year out. And, I didn't come into a program that was broke. I thought Paul Cowley did a great job at Bryant before I got there. And he was winning 8 to 10 games a year at Bryant. So, and then I went to Star City behind Marion Glover. So, one thing I've done is I've always followed good coaches who've done a really good job. And then I go in there and try to put my twist on it. And I get way too much credit.
All right, we're out of time. You're about to hear the music in a moment, but what do you just want to say? Good luck to you tonight. So it's going to be a great matchup. But I know the bigger contest you want to play is down in Little Rock, and that's the eventual goal. Good luck tonight, Buck.
Hey, guys, I appreciate y'all having me on. Thank you.
Once again, great to see you, my friend. All right, we will step away for a moment. This is our Sonic Blast tonight, coming to you from Conway, Arkansas, as the Wampus Cats set to take on the Hornets. Drive Time Sports will continue in a moment.
Game day starts with the Mud Connection Hog Wild pregame show with Trey Shapp and David Basil. Brought to you in part by Bud Light and the Holiday Inn Express and Suites off Weddington and Fayetteville.
Is your marriage over? Assets, debts, custody? For divorces, hire the Lions. There's no one better to protect your pride than our pride of Legal Lions. Exceptional communication and exceptional results in both the negotiating room and courtroom. Lion Legal, the legal pride of Arkansas. Call 227-ROAR and Lion Legal will come roaring to the rescue.
Football fans, tailgate season is here, which means it's time to score touchdowns and savings for your vehicle. At All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, we offer incredible deals and service like your daddy used to get, with the financing options that fit your budget. With our team by your side and confidence you need to stay on the road. Visit us online today at allabouttireandbrake.com. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros. Love the drive.
So have you been living life with pain and you keep saying, well, I'm going to go to the doctor, but I really don't want to do the surgery and I don't want to be on pain meds forever? Well, I have an option for you. It's called QC Kinetics. Hey, everybody, it's RJ Hawk. I just had a buddy the other day that came up to me and he said, hey, look, I keep hearing your ads. I'm going to give them a try. What's the number? I'm going to tell you right now, 501-222-8440. Look, there is absolutely no reason that you need to keep living with all this joint pain. If you've got hip pain, back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, you owe it to yourself to go by for this free consultation to QC Kinetics. There's people all over Central Arkansas that are using QC Kinetics right now, and it's changing their life. It's giving them their life back. They use properties from your own body to heal your body. So there's no surgery, no time, and especially no drugs. Give them a call today for that free consultation. 501-222-8440. That's 501-222-8440. 501-222-8440.
Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails. What about fly fishing from a bicycle? You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear.
Yeah, tough riding a bicycle and waders.
But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Pennington of Lions Drug. We have great news. Generic Cialis is now available at a huge savings. We have Tadalafil, the FDA-approved generic of Cialis, in a 20-milligram tablet at a savings of up to 80%. We have the 5-milligram daily tablets for less than $3 a pill. Lions Drug continues to be your go-to pharmacy for men's health. What are you waiting for? Call us today at 844-676-2247 or go to our website at lionsdrug.com.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. Often imitated but never duplicated. This is Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back once again to our Sonic Blast today here in Conway. Mercy, the people are lined up. I'm not sure how far, trying to get a ticket, a coveted ticket to get into tonight's matchup between Conway and Bryant. And I think they're going to move. What I'm hearing is there's going to be a double B's that's going to be put right here in the corner. That way they will have refreshments. They can get some honey buns, all their favorite drinks. And I don't think they'll provide chairs for them or anything like that, but so they can sit and wait. But if you walked into a double B's, first thing I'd say is welcome to double B's. And then I'd start pointing them towards the different areas in the store in which they can save money. That's always important, save money. And be sure to ask your Double B's cashier about signing up for a rewards card where you can save money on purchases at all stores. So if you're looking for those great specials, I'll give you a couple. How about that? Mountain Dew 20 ounce, 2 for $3.50. Mr. Pure, 2 for $4. Of course, the honey bun special, 2 for $1.
I know you love those honey buns too.
Doesn't get any better than that. And you got the 32-ounce Snapple for just $2. Be sure you stop by your local Double B's on your way towards your game. Make sure you get everything that you need. It's Double B's, where you gas it, grab it, and go. Make it Double B's. And let's check in with my man, Neil Atkinson, by way of Saracen. What's up, partner?
Well, I tell you what, everybody betting on Arkansas plus the points is up. They have driven the line all the way down to 3.5.
Wow.
3.5. So everybody that got them at 6.5 and 5.5 just as early as yesterday is probably feeling pretty good about that one right now. So I don't know how to feel about that, what we did on the double R props, but we're going to find out Saturday. But anyway, it's going to be an exciting weekend. A couple of interesting NFL games. Don't forget that the Kansas City-Miami game is very early on Sunday morning, being played over in Germany. And a lot of people really have this game circled. We're getting a lot of action on it early. The Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles game at their shoes on Sunday. And then all 5 major Arkansas college men's teams are in action at 7 p.m. on Monday. Can't wait for that. The lines are up. The rest of the field has been put up too. So, hey, if you can't find something to bet on Bet Saracen this weekend, don't forget I got table tennis.
Okay, do I need to, since you're mentioning Alcorn State, do I need some double R prop specials for that?
Well, I think it's expected if we can get it together now. It's always tough on that first game. But, throw something at me tomorrow or Sunday, and we'll run it through the risk team, and we'll get it up early
There
on
you go.
on Monday morning, so we even have more to talk about. So we definitely want some double R props on that one. They may be a little bit limited with it being the first game, but we'll see what we can do. If my risk guy doesn't scream at me, we'll put them up too.
I'll just merge the 2 box scores together, and I'll come up with some numbers. It's UT Tyler, and then the new game the other day. We'll come up with some double R prop specials for Alcorn State. Have a great weekend, Neil. That is Neil Atkinson by way of Saracen. Go online, betsaracen.com. Better yet, go to the App Store and pick it up there. Bet Saracen. Did you like any of the double R prop specials?
I like the KJ rushing. Was it 29.5, 2.5?
29.5 and
2.5 sacks.
2.5 sacks.
I think AJ Green will get a chance to
24.5 yards
and a touchdown.
Yeah.
I like those two, and I just don't know what's going to happen in this game. I know we'll talk to our man Trey Biddy here at 5:00 in the next few minutes, but we shall see. I picked Florida to win.
I'm giving you, this is my double R lock.
Guarantee. Is this like the Max Fletcher lock?
This is like the Max Fletcher lock because that's it.
That's it. That's it.
See, I've got him for 44.5.
Oh, that's it.
44.5 and over 1.5 inside the 20.
He'll get that.
He had 4. He
Yeah.
had 4 against Mississippi State inside the 20.
That's the only way I was smiling into that game.
Plus 200.
Yeah, that's easy money right there.
Okay.
Double your money.
Just wanted you to know.
Double your money. That's what you got to do.
Just wanted you to know. That's all there is to it. Let's see if he's still there. Let's talk with Big Red. Big Red, welcome to our Sonic Blast.
You said you forgot Big Red from Conway.
No, I didn't forget. I didn't know if you were still there. The extreme patience you had to show.
Yeah. Dude, because you're there at my alma mater, Conway Wallace Cash John McConnell Field. Yeah, I was talking to Tim Roach, the guys that do our Totally Homer broadcast on Conway Corp Channel 5, and he said that they've already sold all the tickets that are visitors. They're selling visitor side tickets.
Yeah,
now.
well, Bryant sold out of their allotment in 2 days.
It's going to be and so it's like no more visitor seats. It's just what they got left for Conway. And if people are thinking we'll do like a normal Friday night, roll in there about 6:30, I think you're going to be a little out of luck. You might be standing on the track.
I start saying, I got to believe.
I'm just excited to see.
I got to believe, Big Red, these are ones that's going to be standing on the track.
They'll close it down probably about 6:30. I'm betting tonight. Yeah, if not earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have people. You're allowed to bring lawn chairs if you sit in the end zone. You know, not on the band side, obviously, the thing they built for the band, but you can sit on the far end zone. And normally there's like about 20 people that'll sit in that area. I got a feeling they're going to be standing in that area. It's going to be pretty full. Better get there quick if you want to get your normal spot. And then, you know, people will be on the track all around the stadium where they can, where they're not going to interfere with players. But it's exciting. This is what we hired Buck for, is to get to this point. And he's right. I mean, he changed the culture. Everything we talk about the Conway football team, he didn't have to change it very much because, like he just said, and I was really glad that he honored Coach Pimple. Coach Pimple did a really good job getting the junior high, the middle school up, get involved in his system. And he got the family started. And if you looked at Conway, Coach Pimple, he'd have 100, 150 kids coming out. When you have to repeat 50 numbers, you know, that's a sign that your program's healthy at least, and you're getting the kids to come play, and then you got a better pick. And so that's and kind of Buck's take it to another level, and now he's encouraging strength training and just kind of saying this is the extra you're going to have to do. I've heard a little bit about that first conversation with the team, and it was like, here's where you've been, and this is the commitment you're going to have to make. And he didn't talk about just commitment of the players' families, you know, the community as a whole, the sports system. This is the commitment you need if you want to get to the highest level. And I think Conway wants that. We've been wanting it for a long time. So very excited about tonight. Win, lose, or draw. I hope my Wampus Cats pull it out, but I just want a good game, but I'm excited we're back to this point. either way, we're going to the playoffs, and we're going to go as a 1 or 2 seed. So we're getting a bye, and we'll see what But I want a good game. I want a competitive game tonight.
All right, thank you, Big Red.
All right, thank you.
Let's talk with Jared. Jared, good afternoon. Welcome to our Sonic Blast. Yo, Jared.
Appreciate it, guys. I just wanted to. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You're good.
Yes. Just wanted to talk to you guys about the Hector Wildcat. First, wanted to give a shout out to senior running back Brent Casto. Last week at Mount Berg had a career night and broke a school record that was previously held by his father, Daniel Casto, in 1998 with 6 rushing touchdowns against Mount Berg. But just wanted to get your guys' thought. Hector jumps up a classification, takes the 3-hour trip east to take on the Palestine Patriots. And just wanted to get you guys' thought. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared.
Yeah, I saw what Cato did, broke his dad's record. This is a Hector team sitting here 5-4 record. They played a close one to Conway Christian and really just a drop pass in the end zone as time expired away from being the 2 seed and hosting a playoff game. They'll be the 3 seed, go on the road tonight. They play that non-conference game against Palestine Wheatley, and Hoosiers.com is going with Hector to get the victory over Palestine.
All right, we'll step away for a moment. Coming up next, Trey Biddy of hogsports.com. Our Sonic Blast will continue from Conway in just one moment.
Hi, neighbor. It's Garen with Shamrock Roofing. Fall is upon us. Don't go into the cold, wet winter months wondering if your roof will hold up till spring. Get peace of mind now. Visit shamrockroofer.com for a chance to win a new roof free.
When you do something for over 45 years, you get really good at it. Like Roger here. He's been raking leaves for over 45 years. With a twist of his trusty rake, he can shape a pile of leaves into a grizzly bear catching salmon. A 1/5 scale of Mount Rushmore. Whoa. Even a working International Space Station. Stunning detail, Roger. We're a lot like Roger raking leaves, except we do it with insurance. Williamson Insurance, protecting your business and your family for over 45 years.
Come to Robert Irwin Jewelers and experience the RIJ Way, now with 2 locations in the area, McCain Mall or the Pleasant Ridge Town Center off of Cantrell Road next to the Fresh Market. Bigger, brighter diamonds, better prices, Robert Irwin Jewelers, or online at rijewelers.com.
Listen for birthday trivia in the zone, brought to you by Elia's Mexican Grill. Headed to the hill, take exit 108 from either direction for award-winning Mexican food made fresh every day. Elia's in Milton.
This is Chuck Barrett, inviting you to listen to me call home on 1037 The Buzz. KABZ Little Rock.
Bud News, Channel 7, Ryan Houston.
The Hot Spring County Sheriff is under arrest and facing undisclosed federal charges. Sheriff Scott Finkbeiner was arrested on a federal arrest warrant. The charges were not disclosed, but they are being handled by the U.S. Attorney's Office from the Western District of Arkansas. We could hear more from prosecutors as early as today. A shooting in Little Rock is now being investigated as a homicide after one of the victims died on Wednesday. Last week, officers responded to a shooting in the area of Baseline and Chico Roads. When they got there, they found 3 vehicles wrecked in the intersection. Upon their search, police found 15-year-old Samaj O'Neill shot in the head. He was taken to a hospital where he died. The other victims were taken to the hospital. 2 of them were treated and released. At last check, no arrest have been made. For more news and weather, download the pre-KTV News and weather apps from the Channel 7 Newsroom. I'm Ryan Houston.
Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888 for Rainwater, Holton, Sexton. They'll help you weather the storm.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Well, the warm-up continues. Mostly sunny today, a high around 68 degrees. Tonight's low just drops down to 43. 70s this weekend, upper 70s, close to 80 degrees possible early next week. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Today's special at the Riverfront Steakhouse in the Wyndham Hotel. Dinner for 2 for $60. Split a 10-ounce filet, fried shrimp, and our famous salad bar.
Birch Tree Communities presents the high school football game of the week with RJ Hawk, Kyle Sutherland, and Josh Neighbors. Every Friday night this football season, the guys will travel the state to find the best matchups in high school football. The Birch Tree Communities High School Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Roller Funeral Homes, the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, Midtown Plumbing, ASU 3 Rivers, Arkansas Medical Staffing, Alliance Electric, the Arkansas Trucking Association, Gwatney Buick GMC, Gwatney Chevrolet, and Summit Utilities.
RJ Hawk here with Chris Roberts from Southern Bank. And Chris, I know interest rates are high right now. That's what everybody's talking about. But if you're thinking about a project, whether it be a commercial project or you want to build a house, now's the time to come talk to you about what those future plans may look like.
You know, RJ, no matter what the business environment may be, we're always there to sit down with our customers and talk about their future plans and what's going on with their businesses.
And that's one thing about Southern Bank is they're a community bank. They want to be your partner.
Partnering with our customers is a key to how we do business.
And Chris, you know, we talk about those interest rates being high, but the one good news out of that is deposit rates.
We have some great CD and checking account rates. Just give us a call and see what one of our personal bankers can do for you.
If you want more information about interest rates or those deposit rates that we just talked about, call Chris and his team today at 501-424-0900 or go online at bankwithsouthern.com. Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's fall, and you know that means schools are back in. These will be changing soon. Oh, and it means football. Friday Night Lights and action packed weekend, and Chris Hyundai gets you there in style and with plenty of room to bring all your tailgate gear and crew of super fans. Get America's Best Warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles, and Hyundai Assurance.
Right now, get up to $3,000 off new Hyundais this fall at Chris Crane Hyundai and Museum Road in Conway and online at chriscranehyundai.com.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Drew Self in Hot Springs or Todd Matthews in Benton for a free insurance review.
Mow, dig, haul, lift. The versatile Kubota B tractor does it all. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Talk to your local Kubota dealer today to schedule a demo. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. River Valley Tractor, closer than you think.
If you're looking for the best deal on a pre-owned vehicle, you'll find it here in Hot Springs on Central Avenue at Motorsports Authority, here with Wild Bill and Magic Mark. These are some fantastic deals, guys.
Hey, Magic Mark, tell us about some of these special rigs you got sitting here.
We've got cars for every taste. Cars, trucks, SUVs. This is the best selection of inventory we've had in the past 2 years. More for your trade? Yes. Payments for every budget? Yes.
Online at MSAstore.com. We'll see you at Motorsports Authority.
What are you waiting for?
CZ Top. Leonard's American Institutions Unite. The Sharp-Dressed Simple Man Tour. April 18th, Simmons Bank Arena. With Blackstone Cherry. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. CC Top and Leonard Skinner live.
Difficult times challenge our mental and physical health. Take time to exercise. Focus on your emotional needs and your loved ones. If you need help, visit bestfamily.org. Been your community resource for a complete continuum care. This is just sponsored by Methodist Family and aired in cooperation with this station and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's #1 collar-driven sports show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Hour number 2. Welcome back to Drive Time Sports and our Sonic Blast today here in Conway as the Wampus Cats hosting the Bryant Hornets, 5-time defending state champion. And if these numbers that we're looking at right now is anything close to what is going to be,
with the games tied at 116.
I'm not sure what I'm hearing.
That sounds like ESPN radio.
Yeah, is that ESPN radio that I've got in my ear? But it shall be as electric of an atmosphere for a non-championship game that you might find anywhere. So, Barry Grooms of Hootens Arkansas Football Magazine, Kevin Bohannon, I'm Randy Rainwater. All right, I don't know why that's not playing.
Now to Trey Betty, brought to you by Asher Wrecker Service, 501-562-2293. Family owned and operated since 1980. Asher Wrecker, dependable towing and vehicle recovery service. Ask for Asher.
There's some ghosts and goblins. I thought Halloween was on Tuesday night. But, man, that is, anyway. It's a little. Good afternoon, Trey.
Hey, guys. Can everybody listen here?
Yeah, I mean, we're listening. Yeah, maybe we're in ESPN's ear too. I don't know.
Oh, wow. That would be that'd be entertaining.
Yeah.
Well, Rick's not here, so I get to say it. But I don't know that you can answer it this time. The hay is in the barn for Arkansas.
A game for anybody else. I don't know if anybody thinks this is as huge a game as people in Florida and Arkansas. I mean, we talked about what Florida has up on the schedule next after this one, and should be a great crowd for them in the Swamp. And I mean, after this, it's 2 straight road games to ranked teams at LSU and at Missouri, and then welcome home undefeated number 4 ranked Florida State. I mean, your opportunity to play spoiler, I guess. So this is viewed as a very important game for Bill. There's even been talk about his job security being on the line, and Florida has fired coaches for, with winning records, obviously in the past. Actually have kind of gone back and looked at all the different, coaching changes that have happened in the SEC over the last few years. And there's not a lot of examples of coaches going into year 4 and having a losing record and surviving. In fact, the only one that I could find in, recent history was Will Muschamp at South Carolina. Yeah. I mean, so Will Muschamp was fired after a 2-5 start in his 5th season in 2020. But the year before that, they went 4-8 in his 4th season, but he survived and wasn't fired. That's like the only example I can find in the entire conference. In recent history. So, that jumps out. Now his best season was in 2017. There's some parallels there. You go back, a couple years, and Sam Pittman was 9-4 at Arkansas. So a lot of similarities there between those two situations. If Sam Pittman is retained and gets a 5th year, but he's going to have to do better than what Muschamp did his 5th year. He started off 2-5 and was fired in the middle of the season in 2020 during the COVID year. So, but you can go down every school in the SEC, and nobody's put up with that mark in year 4. Although Sam Pittman, maybe just a different situation. Do you really consider it year 4 for him? It's 2020 year 1 coming into the situation that he came into with Arkansas being in such a rut, reviving the program. You also have to say, best record in 10 years. The last 10 years was produced by Sam Pittman. So this is his opportunity to show that his only real mistake so far has been, just a calculated error of hiring Dan Enos. and to show that now that he's gone, that they can produce some offense. And, the defense hopefully will still play the same. I'll say this too, guys. I mean, nobody plays as many, we talk about the one possession record. Nobody plays in as many one possession games as Arkansas under Sam Pittman. Nobody's doing. In fact, Arkansas they've done it 5 times this year. Is that right? Yeah, 5 times
5
this year.
and 6,
they've been in one possession games. They've lost every single one of them. And nobody else in the SEC has played in more than 3. And, nobody's lost more than 2. Alabama's 2-0, Auburn's 1-2, LSU's 1-0, Ole Miss is 3-0, Mississippi State's 2-1, Texas A&M's 0-2, Florida's 1-0, Georgia's 1-0, Kentucky's 0-1, South Carolina's 1-1, Tennessee's 2-0, and Vanderbilt is 1-1, and Arkansas is 0-5. How's Arkansas in so many one-possession games? Last year they were in 6 one-possession games. 6. Why is Arkansas in so many one-possession games? Do they play to the level of their opponents? I mean, based on what we've seen so far, maybe you say, yeah. I mean, they lose on the road to LSU by 3. They lose on the road to Alabama. What was that, 3?
3, yeah.
To Alabama. Lose on the road to to Ole Miss by 7. Now, those are all quality teams. We can understand those losses, but then you come back home and you lose to Mississippi State by 4 at home, a team that's given up 29.5 points a game. Why is Arkansas – you could say they're playing to the level of their opponent, but, really they're playing just below the level of their opponent time in and time out. Why are they in so many one-possession games? And last year, too. I didn't go back and look at last year, but I bet they were in more one-possession games than anybody else last year also.
And, Troy, what about holding a lead that you take into the fourth quarter? Have there been at least 1 or 2 games of those that I know LSU, Arkansas finally got the lead, couldn't hold it. Seemed like there was at least one more game like that where Arkansas was able to grab the lead in the fourth quarter.
It's weird that the one game – yeah, Randy, it's weird, though, that the one game – Ole Miss, they had a lead, I believe. The one game that the offense actually played pretty well, the defense didn't play well.
LSU game, yeah.
The one game where you got – yeah.
Well, actually, I thought, Trey, the defense got smacked around a little bit
deal
against Alabama. I thought they, particularly late in the ball game where they needed to make a stop, they couldn't make a stop. They kind of got whacked around a little bit there, but nevertheless, Trey.
Yeah, I mean, that's Alabama, first of all, but secondly, I don't know if that's 100% fair to say when the offense is continually putting the defense in bad situations.
Well, that's true.
3 and out and 3 and out and 3 and out, and I mean. You can only ask so much of your defense. The game is engineered, for the offense to have more success than the defense. It's just the way the game is designed. But the only time I really felt like the defense, got it put to them and real poorly was the last, 18 seconds or so of the first half against LSU.
20 minutes.
And then the second half against where I'm just like, I would say I wouldn't take what the defense gave them, each week.
Trey, what are your expectations for Rocket Sanders?
Sorry, Randy, I didn't hear anything except for Rocket Sanders.
No, what is your expectations for Rocket Sanders if he gets to play against Florida?
I don't really have any. Yeah, I don't have any, Randy. I think I guess he will play. I don't know how much. I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with? Siri also doesn't have an answer for that.
Yeah, Siri. Goodness gracious, it's like,
what is this?
Siri doesn't have an answer, and I don't have an answer.
Maybe you can answer this question. Jake.
Oh my God!
I thought it was ironic that Kenny Guyton said that they had eliminated 30% of the playbook, and
Sam Pittman said that.
Yeah, Sam Pittman said it, and it was ironic that Chad Morris only got 30% of the playbook installed his first year. So, what part of the 30% did they get rid of? I mean, do you have an idea about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of the plays where they're throwing screens and they're having the offensive lineman get out there to block.
That would be good because the tackles still haven't got
maybe
out on the second level yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the stuff maybe where, you know, I don't know. I don't know what 30%, maybe some more of the pro style stuff where that, you know, they're having to identify the mic and all of those things. And I've just hope that they get back to, you know, the style of offense, hurrying up that they were running before under Kendall Piles. That's, you know, styles and triple option offense and stuff. But everything has, with the rules of college football, everything says that you should be running a hurry up, a no huddle spread offense. Everything about the rules in college football say you should be doing that.
Right.
So it's kind of what you have to do. And I wonder also, like, you know, with a pro style attack, you know, sometimes it like I've always thought like you could bring in a quarterback as a freshman and run a spread offense and have success, but it's very hard to do that right out of the gate with a freshman quarterback. In a pro style offense.
Agreed.
Where he just has so many more responsibilities as far as, you know, communicating protections and things like that. And you have to develop that guy in the offense. And then usually, you know, you're like, okay, you know, this guy's a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, he's ready to start. And, you know, I think maybe we thought with KJ, since he's an older guy, that he'd be able to jump right into it, but he's never run that kind of offense before. And he probably needed more time also to get more comfortable in it. So there were also so many things that we saw them, you know, doing, you know, in the passing game in the spring and in fall camp that they just weren't doing on game days. So, like, why was there so much effort put into that stuff in camp and in the spring? And we don't see it on game days. We just see a very vanilla approach. So, I don't know. I'm anxious to see what kind of offense we see on Saturday. To your question, Randy. How much of a role Rocket Sanders plays?
I don't know. I mean, I have no clue. I
don't think he'll be in much shape for.
I don't either.
Maybe
I can't believe
3 or 4 carries at the most.
When's the last time he's been hit? And what kind of conditioning does he have? I mean, I realize Sam Pittman said the other day that they're maybe it was the kids that said they were practicing inside because it's going to be more like the temperature they're going to face because it's been cold up in Fayetteville, so they've been practicing indoors in a controlled atmosphere. That doesn't matter.
No.
The heat and the humidity in Gainesville can get oppressive. I mean, I don't know what it'd be like this time of the year, but the one other time that I was there at Gainesville, it was Steve Spurrier and the Fun and Gun,
the K Gun,
and
yep.
and Danny Wolf, I believe, was the quarterback. And even then, he was splitting time.
95, 96. Yep.
But it was still blazing hot. I mean, it was still hot in that stadium, and humid. So we'll see. But I just can't. I just don't see where he's going to be in great shape.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard to believe somehow, some way, he's been able to keep that conditioning all the time that he's been out. You know, Trey. The other part of this Kenny Guyton OC mystery is Sam likes that 50-50 blend of run and pass. I'm curious to how they are going to what kind of balance they're going to try to create in this game. Arkansas has not proven it can run the football. It just hasn't proven it can run the football today. Teams have been able to make them be, play one side, and that is throw the football. And Arkansas hasn't been that especially successful doing that. What kind of offense? What kind of offensive blend are you expecting, Trey, from Kenny Guyton?
Well, I'd love to be able to see them be able to run the football because they have not done that. And last year, they were about as balanced as they've ever been.
Right.
As far as yardage produced, they obviously they ran the ball more than they threw the ball, but the yardage came out about the same. They were 236 rushing yards per game and then 234 passing yards per game. Obviously, a lot more, run dominant in terms of the play call, the number of play calls, they were second in the SEC in rushing versus being 8th in the SEC in passing last year. So I think that what you would like to be able to do is to do both, and to be able to pass the ball successfully, you need to be able to run the ball. I mean, you just do. And for the offense that Arkansas has run in the past to be able to work. So, man, it would be nice if they could open up some holes and actually be productive in the run game, because it has been what are they averaging, like 105 yards a game this year?
109.
No.
109.
Well, no, it's actually 86.
109.
86 if you look at SEC games only.
86.
86.
Oh, you always do SEC only games.
Correct.
You always omit the other ones. But that's
no,
pathetic.
You're playing SEC games now. You're not playing BYU. You're not playing Kent State. You're not playing Western Carolina. You're
Sure.
playing.
No, I'm saying the numbers, not your use of the numbers, Randy. The numbers are pathetic.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think I was talking about you? For using
I'm sorry, I got defensive there.
Your reaction's like you're calling me pathetic.
Wait a minute. I'm just giving you the numbers.
It is. Even if it's 109 yards per game in SEC only, that's still pathetic.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, I mean, they're like 301 total offense, if I remember correctly, in SEC only games. So, I mean, that's pitiful by today's standards.
I think Chuck Barrett referred to it the other day as a constipated offense.
That's probably a good description.
Just waiting for something to break through,
Sorry,
break loose.
Give them one of those pills. See if you can loosen things up. Make something good happen if you can. I'm very Trey. Just for a moment. Did you look at the double R prop specials on Saracen? Bet Saracen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting you on the spot. I know.
Have I had a chance to look at them?
Yeah.
Is that what you?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
No,
I'll tease you with a couple.
Got it pulled up right now.
I'll tease you a couple because I'm seeing these.
So you've got. Yeah, I've got it pulled up.
Okay, I'm Trey off of the season averages, not SEC games only. I did go with the season totals to come up with some of these numbers for Arkansas. AJ Green, 24.5 yards rushing over 0.5 rushing touchdowns. 24.5. That's like that Iowa Northwestern game the other day when they set the over-under at 29.5. That's almost ridiculous. Did we lose Trey? We may have lost Trey. This is how confident I am, Kev. Arkansas, we are still on, right? Yeah, we're on.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah, something's happening where you're like cutting in and out real bad for me.
Okay, I think we're stabilized now. I was talking about AJ Green, 24.5 yards rushing over 0.5 rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking at one. You have Isaac Tesla for just like, I mean, just some of the numbers.
Oh, he's been doing that since he's been doing that since BYU.
That's
trying to get
using it on season averages.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I know it's just, just never would have expected some of these numbers to be so low when you're. I mean, Isaac Tesla, 29.5 receiving yards, like that's.
That should be a given.
It's just KJ Jefferson, 199.5 passing yards, like, and it's plus 220. Man, rough offense.
I told Kevin, here's the guarantee. Max Fletcher, 44.5 yard average, punt, and over 1.5 punts inside the 20.
Yeah.
That should be a gimme.
Yeah, that might be a good one.
I don't know if it's because we've got so many people that is around us all of a
I think
sudden.
we got a really bad delay too, Randy. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, like you're hearing me talk when I don't know what's going on, but
we may need to
really
reset at the break.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all of a sudden now
It's
we're getting all
probably
kinds of
that
static.
ESPN overplay.
It's been one of those days.
No.
And now we have nothing.
Michael in Conway.
Hey, guys.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Michael.
Got a question for you. It's about the Rockets. Talking with some buddies about a week or two ago, I said, you know,
Good
We'll be able to
question.
answer that in just a minute. Yeah. We'll answer it in just a minute.
all right. Thank you.
Arkansas State fans, listen up. The Red Wolves' home in Central Arkansas is 106.7 Buzz 2. Listen every week for Sunbelt Conference action with the Red Wolves, only on 106.7 Buzz 2.
With over 350 land specialists in 40 states, Whitetail Properties Real Estate is the premier in North America. And Mike Poor, your local Whitetail Properties land specialist, combines local expertise with the Whitetail Properties national reach to reach more buyers who are looking for hunting land, farmland, and rural homes. So if you're thinking about selling, you need to give Mike Poor a call today at 501-428-7177 or visit whitetailproperties.com.
The spas have arrived for the huge truckload sale going on now at Luxury Pool and Spa at their new location on Stanford Road in Conway. Caldera and Fantasy Spas by Watkins are all on sale and must go during the spa truckload sale. Service after the sale, no worries. With Luxury Pool and Spa, they service everything they sell. They also
Make your reservations now at oaklawn.com. What's your Oak Lawn? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Did you know Arch Marine is the kayak leader in Central Arkansas? Right now, get 20% off all feel-free kayaks. All the prices are falling on kayaks this month. Don't forget, we repair ATVs. Your granddaddy trusted Arch Marine, and so can you.
Of course, you have many options when it comes to great dining options downtown, but there's only one, Dizzy's Gypsy Bistro, still offering a wide selection of all your favorite special craft cocktails, including beer and wine, and a menu featuring gourmet salads and delicious pastas. And Dizzy's is also the multiple-time winner of the World Cheese Dip Competition. With the dog-friendly patio, a funky eclectic atmosphere, and room for large parties with reservations, Dizzy's will have you coming back again and again. Since 1995, Dizzy's Gypsy Bistro, dizzyslr.com.
Do you need Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton? Anywhere in the state, dial 888-8888. It really is just that easy. If you've been injured and need help, it doesn't matter where in Arkansas you are. Just dial 888-8888. We'll come to you. I'm Mike Rainwater of Rainwater, Holt, and Sexton. We have been thankfully serving Arkansans for years, and we appreciate the trust you've put in us. We work hard for you, Arkansas, each and every state. Dial 8.
Tune in each Friday for the Birch Tree Community's High School Football Game of the Week with R.J. Hawk, Kyle Sutherland, and Josh Neighbors. Birch Tree Communities, a place called home. For more information, visit birchtree.org.
The #1 sports radio show in Arkansas. Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to our Sonic Blast here on the Buzz Radio Network. Barry Grooms of Hooten's Arkansas Football Magazine, Kevin Bohannon. I'm Randy Rainwater. Must tell you the best bargain going right now is the dinner for two for $60 at the Riverfront Steakhouse. The reason why I say that is because it don't get no better than that, because we're talking about filet. We're talking about steak. We're talking about a 10-ounce steak plus not one, not two, not three, but four of the double F, the Frank Fletcher fried shrimp, four of them, size of your hand, and the Riverfront salad bar for two. That includes the largest salad bar in Pulaski County. No, make that America. With over 30 items, including baby shrimp, iceberg, and romaine lettuce, all the trimmings, all the extras, all the dressings that you can imagine, and then you get to pick two side items. Oh, my goodness, this is too good to be true, but it is true. At the Riverfront Steakhouse in North Little Rock, the dinner for two tonight, tomorrow night. Make a reservation right now, and that is 371-9000. Ask for Shapur. That is the Riverfront Steakhouse in North Little Rock, and that is the best deal going right now. And we have Barry Grooms of Hooten's Arkansas Football Magazine with us. So let's, where do we begin?
I think we had a question right before the break. If Rocket Sanders had set out due to Enos, and that's why he'd come back now. Since Enos is gone, he feels like he can play a little bit. I don't think he would have done that, because that is cutting your throat before you even get into the NFL.
Right.
That's showing that you're a prima donna. I think he was actually hurt. He never got fully healthy. And the week before the Alabama game, he kind of tweaked his knee again. So I think we can put those speculations to rest right now. I don't think he would do that.
I just hope he's healthy.
Yeah.
And don't step out there until you are healthy. All right, Bear, this one is from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line from the Storm Chaser. Any idea who DeWitt will draw in the first round of the playoffs?
Well, DeWitt finishes second in the 8-4A, and I was just looking at that. They'll be at the bottom part of the bracket, and the DeWitt Dragons will host the fourth team from the 3. And tonight you've got Rivercrest, Blytheville playing. I think Truman fits in probably as that 4 seed up there.
Pocahontas.
So it could be could be Truman, Pocahontas, Highland, depending what happens tonight. But it's one of those teams coming to DeWitt.
And let's see. Here is from the 501. Hot Springs Lakeside at Hot Springs.
Yeah. Well, the winner's going to get a number 2 playoff seed. The loser looks like they'll be that number 3 seed. And both teams had pretty good years. Hot Springs' only loss this season was to Little Rock Parkview. Lakeside lost two games to Parkview and to Magnolia. So if they win this, they can still get that number 2 seed. This is called the City Bowl there in Hot Springs. A lot besides pride on the line in this. For Lakeside, you've got Kyler Wolf. He got banged up about week 5, week 6. He's returned, looked full strength last week, caught a 75-yard touchdown against Parkview. For Hot Springs, it's been a really good defensive effort all year. Kendall Williams has been great. Last week it was Braylon Young, 17 tackles, a sack, and an interception. Justin Washington has really blossomed at receiver the past 2 weeks. He's got 12 catches over the past 2 weeks. So Hootens.com picks Hot Springs to get the City Bowl victory over Hot Springs Lakeside.
And, Bear, you got to know that Coach Burnett is excited about this team. This is the best record that they've had since 2002. That team went 10-2, 6-1 in conference play. Greenwood beat them in the playoffs that year, but great season under Coach Burnett. Matt Contreras having an outstanding season. Bear, I want to go back to the 6A East real quick. West Memphis at Searcy. A lot riding on this game. If things work out right, Searcy looks like they could jump up and get that 3 seed.
They could get a higher playoff seed if things worked out. They're the number 8 seed, or not number 8 team in the state right now. They've had ups and downs this year, but really have righted the ship, and they have beaten West Memphis 9 of the past 11 times they've played, beat them last year by 9 points. They get the number 3 playoff seed with a victory over West Memphis. That would give them the head-to-head tiebreaker, and you have to couple that with a Marion victory over Catholic if those things happen. For West Memphis, they get the number 3 seed simply with a victory. So a lot to play for both teams here. West Memphis scored some points, kind of held their own a little bit against Benton last week. Of course, we're down to our second-team quarterback at West Memphis, Drew Jenkins. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes since he took over as a starter 2 weeks ago. But boy, Searcy's just had the upper hand in the series, running the ball well. Tyler Strickland dishing it out, both passing and running the ball. But West Memphis may be too good of a defense. Think this is a close game, goes right down to the wire. Hootens.com picks West Memphis in a close one over Searcy.
All right, Bear, here's another one from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. And this from the 501. Can you talk about the Magnet Cove Glen Rose game?
Well, thought this might get, in the middle of the season, looked like maybe this was going to be for a conference championship. Now things are already set. Glen Rose, the number 1 seed, Magnet Cove will be that 5 seed. So, Magnet Cove's in the playoffs by beating Paris. Their probably finishes at 5 seed. Glen Rose, as we said, the conference champ. Heath Balance, Ryan Bland have both played very well. When they played Center Point last week, they kept those guys in the game for over 3 quarters, and Balance finished with 302 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. Bland was 4 of 6 passing, 70 yards, ran the ball well. Hootens.com picks Glen Rose, but of course this is a rivalry game, and seedings are already determined, so be interesting to see how long starters play and all those things in this game.
Bear, Newport and Perryville will play for the number 2 seed out of that 2-3A or 3-3A conference. Excuse me, a 2-3A. That's right. Salem got the win over Quitman last night, 50-0. Wrapped up a 10-0 perfect regular season. This should be a great game. 2 contrasting styles. Perryville likes to play defense, run the ball. They've only given up 117 points on the year. That's a little over 10 points a game. Should be a really good ball game.
Perryville was really impressive last week too against Salem. Lost 16-6 for the quarter and just couldn't muster up the offense. But they held an explosive Salem attack to a season low in points. Newport comes in. Luke Reynolds, the sophomore, an outstanding dual threat. Amani Wren has been really good, not only receiving the ball and on those jet sweeps. He's a good punt returner. He's got a couple of punt kick returns for a touchdown. I think that can be the difference tonight. Newport gets a defensive score or special team score to put them over the top, and Hootens.com picks the number 10 Greyhounds in a close one over Perryville.
All right, let's see this from our Asher Record Service Company live fan feedback. This one is from, where is it? It recycled here for me on a moment. Jim, new Jim had to check in with us. Cedarville at Boonville. Do the Bearcats handle business tonight, Bear? That is Jim from Boonville.
Well, you would think so, but Cedarville, nothing to play for as far as playoff contention. Boonville's locked up the number 1 seed in the conference. They're conference champs, and Dax Golf last week. This is one of those games for Boonville when his starters to get hurt. A lot to play for. Hootens.com picks Boonville to handle Cedarville and look for them to move a few guys up off that freshman team that beat Cedarville last night by 4 touchdowns. I think in their junior high finale.
Mountain Home visits Greenbrier tonight. Greenbrier coming off a bad loss to Little Rock Christian last week. Mountain Home's Cade Yates has played well, but they are turnover prone. Defense is kind of a suspect for Mountain Home right now, but they have shown they can put up some points this year. Very big game for playoff seeding in the 6A West.
It is. The winner gets the number 4 playoff seed, will host a first-round game. The loser's going to get that number 5 seed and have to play here in the first round of the playoffs, play a team like possibly West Memphis or Catholic or Searcy in the first round. So, and you know that Greenbrier could tumble all the way down to the 6th seed due to losing the tiebreakers to Mountain Home and Russellville. So huge game for both teams. Greenbrier quarterback Kane Richardson, he had 127 yards last week against Little Rock Christian, but as a team, they had just 217 total yards. Mountain Home, meanwhile, played Van Buren, had 500 yards of offense. The defense forced 5 turnovers. They led the game by 10 points at half, eased on out to a victory, and they're running the ball exceptionally well. I think this is a game that goes right down to the wire, but been really impressed with Steve Airy the past couple of years at Mountain Home, how his teams have played weeks 9 and 10, and last week they played very well. So based on history, we have to go with Mountain Home duplicating that effort, playing it well again this week. Hootens.com picks the Bombers in a mild upset at Greenbrier.
And Bear from our Asher Record Service Company live feed feedback trip says the Mills Comets host the Valonia Eagles tonight. With a win tonight, the Comets will be the conference champion for the first time in 35 years. Who does Hootens.com pick to win this one, Bear?
We've got Mills winning this game, but yeah, they've got to win because if they lose, they'll have 2 conference losses. And either Joe T. Robinson or Pine Bluff, those 2 teams play each other. The winner of that game will be the number 1 seed. Achilles Ringo, he is the senior quarterback at Mills, had an outstanding season. Quite the dual threat quarterback, by the way. I mean, he's putting up 400 yards, 500 yards a week of offense. Javen Love, he's played really well at receiver. Valonia, they had won 2 straight games, lost a close one last week to Maumelle by 16 points. In that game, though, they couldn't stop Maumelle's running attack. So look for Mills to try to run the football tonight. Hit a few big plays. Hootens.com picks the Comets to get the victory in the conference championship.
All right, we got to step aside for a moment. Pep squad making the way in for the Bryant Hornets. I'm not sure where they're going to put everybody inside there. Barry Grooms of Hootens Arkansas Football Magazine, Kevin Bohan, and I'm Randy Rainwater. Our Sonic Blast from Conway will continue in a moment.
True Service Community Federal Credit Union presents your Razor Hog update every day on Out of Bounds. With True Service, you get cash rewards with your debit card. Online at trueservice.net.
Hello, folks. It's Frank Fletcher from the Fletcher Dodge store here in Sherwood. For the past few months, we've been asking you to give us a chance to buy your cars, and the response has been great. We really appreciate all of you who brought your cars in and turned it into cash. We've purchased hundreds of cars from fine people just like you. Folks, we're still buying cars every day. So look around and see what you or your family has in the that you want in cash. It's really coming from Andy. We'll buy any vehicle and we'll pay you more than anyone. We can't find
Business in your family for over 45 years.
Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer has 5 service trucks available, providing you on-site service to get you back on the road. If that doesn't do it, Stacked has a new state-of-the-art 13-bay shop for service and repair on all Class A trucks, trailers, RVs, light and medium-duty commercial vehicles, tires, brakes, AC, engine repair, transmissions, differentials, and driveline repair. Stacked Commercial Truck and Trailer Repair. Get Stacked 2 miles off 530 exit 34 in Whitehall.
College sports and Parker Cadillac, that's a winning combination. I'm Rachel Parker Harding with Parker Cadillac. Make a grand entrance on game day in a 2024 Cadillac XT4 or XT5. Or load up your family and friends in the third row XT6. Tops in quality and reliability among mid-size with eye-catching sport trim packages available. Shop now for exceptional savings. Visit parker-cadillac.com.
Now, back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios. Eat fresh, eat local, eat my catfish. It's gut check time. Drive Time Sports is back on the Buzz Radio Network.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports and the Buzz Radio Network. Barry Grooms of Hooten's Arkansas Football Magazine, Kevin Bohannon. I'm Randy Rainwater. Today, our Sonic Blast here in Conway. The reason we're having so many connection issues is the electricity, Kevin, that's in the air.
Absolutely. And they say you can't see electricity in the air, but you can see it out here tonight, Double R.
It is. You can feel the energy. All right, let's talk to Patrick. Patrick, good afternoon. Welcome to our Sonic Blast.
Good afternoon. I wanted to know what y'all thought about Bismarck Point game. I think if Bismarck wins, it'll be 8-2 and maybe second seed.
Yep.
Those Bismarck
The
lines.
winner of this game is going to get the number 2.
Thank you,
seed.
Patrick.
Bismarck with a 5-1 conference record hosts Center Point, who has a 5-1 conference record. And, Center Point last week, 12 points, the lowest they've scored in any conference game this year. They face a Bismarck team looking for a little bit of a challenge. Coach Keithley said, hey, we've had a pretty easy stretch here the past month. We've got to have a good game and to get ready for the playoffs. And he thinks this will give it to him. His son is playing exceptionally well at quarterback, and this is a team Bismarck been putting up lots of points. In fact, last week they led Two Rivers 37-0 with just 5 minutes and 33 seconds going in the game. So won't be as easy. Points won't be as easy to come by tonight, but Hoots.com still picks Bismarck to come out with a victory.
Bear, let's go to the 5A West. Still a conference title up for grabs tonight. Alma hosting Shiloh Christian. Farmington still with a 5-1 record. We would have never thought 4 weeks ago that Alma and Farmington could be the potential conference champion of the 5A West tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, Shiloh's the one with its work cut out that needs some help to get the number 1 seed.
Yep.
Alma gets it with a victory. Farmington is the number 1 seed if Shiloh beats Alma and Farmington beats their rival Prairie Grove. So lots of things Shiloh needs to win and needs a Farmington loss, obviously, to get the championship. But let's start with the Shiloh-Alma game. Shiloh Christian, a lot of hype this year. They're right now ranked number 4 in the state. Had some luster knocked off their season, though, a couple of weeks ago, losing to Farmington. And in that game, they failed to score in the second half. Last week, they came out against Prairie Grove and looked like a different team. Cole Creighton, he's the third quarterback this team has had this season. They've been decimated by injuries. He threw 3 touchdown passes. Bo Williams ran for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns before heading to the sidelines to rest his injury. He has played sparingly the past 6 weeks due to an ankle injury. Really knocked off chance for him to put up monster numbers this year. But the main number Shiloh's interested in is they returning to their 4th straight state championship game and think they can get it done. Hoots.com picks Shiloh to beat Alma and then Farmington to beat Prairie Grove. Prairie Grove is not going to make the playoffs, and they've lost the past 2 weeks to Alma and Shiloh by a combined 98-12. So not a lot of offense right now for the Tigers of Prairie Grove.
All right, Bear, this one from our Asher Record Service Company live fan feedback. Jay says, what has happened with Catholic football this year compared to last year?
Last year, yeah. And they've had injuries this year. And their quarterback last year was exceptional. I think Kevin will agree. And this year, they just can't quite get everything to come together. But Jackson England has played okay at times at quarterback. He's been injured, though, now. And Brooks Ward and Cody Fogelman have to step it up, and they have to run the ball much better. They have to kind of change offensive philosophies, I think, starting this week. And look for them to do so. They're playing a Marion team tonight that doesn't have a lot to play for statistically wise. So think Catholic. Catholic has something to play for. So we're picking Catholic to get the victory.
Yeah, watching them firsthand last week, the trenches is what the biggest difference is, especially on the offensive line. Those guys lost a few starters from last year, but defense still plays hard. They just don't have the big plays that they had last year, and Sam Sanders was the difference maker. No offense to Jackson England. He's played really well this year, but Sam Sanders was a game changer. Bear, Elkins, the Elks, giving up a mere 7 points a game and averaging right at 53 points a game. Takes on Lincoln tonight. Lincoln playing for playoff seeding tonight. The Elks have wrapped up their conference, the 1-4A title.
Yeah, they've wrapped up the number 1 seed, going for an undefeated season. So that may be something for them to play for. And then Busy Dean, Deshaun Chairs have both played exceptionally well. The Townsend brothers on both sides of the ball.
Poochie, 3 interceptions last week, Bear.
Poochie, 3.
3.
He returned 1 for a touchdown.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Lincoln will be that 3 or 4 seed. Cal Jones, he's played quarterback. He's played running back. He's played receiver for them. He's got to have a big night to keep Lincoln close. But Hoops.com picks Elkins to win. Ozark then would be that number 2 seed, and we'll just have to sort out who wins between Gravett, Gentry, and sort all that out with Lincoln.
Well, Bear, from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line, this from the 501. The train keeps rolling down the tracks, led by Braylon Russell from the 501. Tell me about Benton and Sheridan. I see it in the headlights coming to that train called the Benton Panthers.
Well, they're rolling on offense, maybe like no other team in the entire state. They've won 8 consecutive games over Sheridan. And this year, they've won 8 consecutive games after losing the opener to Bryant, and they played Bryant as well as anybody other than the Patriots of Parkview. What Benton does so well is they mix the pass and the run. Drew Davis, he's established the school record 35 touchdown passes this season, and he didn't even start the first 2 games. Braylon Russell, he can catch the ball. He can run. He ran for 3 touchdowns last week. Caught a touchdown pass. Benton playing for an outright conference championship. Think they get it, and they're going to be that number 1 seed regardless of what happens. And they face a Sheridan team that struggled last week to beat Greene County Tech. Got it done 16-14. And Sheridan will not make the playoffs this year, so this is kind of their playoff game or Super Bowl. And the players at Sheridan view this as a rivalry. Benton doesn't as much, but the Sheridan players do. So, but Hootens.com picking Benton Panthers to keep it rolling, and got Benton winning this game, and think Benton's one of about 3 teams, the way it looks right now, capable of winning that 6A state title.
Bear, Malvern took care of business against Nashville last week to set up the conference championship against Arkadelphia in Arkadelphia tonight. Arkadelphia's won 5 straight games. This should be one heck of a matchup. Jalen Dupree, all-time leading rusher at Malvern against a Arkadelphia team that's been playing really well of late.
Yep, Arkadelphia has really turned the corner, playing so well. They put up nearly 500 yards of offense last week. They beat Fordyce in a non-conference game. They had 3 turnovers. Coach Shucker said they've got to eliminate those. Now, defensively, he feels his team's playing pretty well. they've got to handle this Malvern offense. Jalen Dupree, as you mentioned last week, 33 carries, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dylon Carradine had another touchdown. And then Angel Perez, Romar Bennett played well on defense. This is a game Malvern has to win, I think, just for its own mental state. Malvern got blown out last year by Arkadelphia, came back to win state championship. This game is even because if you'll remember week last year, we had all the fun until Saturday morning. Yeah. And Malvern just didn't respond. Malvern has not won a conference championship since 1997. They've kind of made that a goal this year. I mean, the ultimate goal, of course, is repeating as state champions. So I think there's a lot riding on this game for both teams, but maybe the pressure's on Malvern. I think the Leopards want to win that conference championship, be the first one in 25, 26 years. So they feel they got something to prove and something to add some hardware to the trophy case.
All right. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Actually, 45 minutes to go because we've got the game of the week coming to you from Greenwood. As RJ and the gang standing by for Greenwood and Little Rock Christian. Our Sonic Blast will continue from Conway in just one moment.
Twin Peaks is honoring the pursuit of brews and barrel-aged bourbon every Friday at their Bourbon and Brews party. Get to Twin Peaks from 5 to 7 to experience a lingerie costume party paired with exceptional bourbons, tastings, and giveaways. Cheers!
Once again this year, the Buzz is proud to bring you college football talk with Mark May every Thursday morning on Morning Mayhem. Brought to you by Edwards Food Giant, The Meat People, and by Dugan's Pub, located in the River Market. Mark will break down the week's biggest games and discuss who will win and why they'll win.
Deer season is upon us, and if there's no tree for a tree stand in your favorite hunting spot, then let Max Prairie Wings in Stuttgart help you out with a brown blind instead. Starting at just $125, their all-new Rhino 180 see-through blind takes the world of ground blind hunting to a whole new level. This unique two-way mesh system prevents wild game from seeing in while allowing you to see out with no obstructions. Also, check out their Tacticam Reveal X Pro trail cameras that text real-time photos to your cell phone. All this and more are available in-store or online at maxbw.com. NFL legend Dan Hampton joins Morning Mayhem each week for a little football talk, courtesy of Metro Towing and Recovery and Central Termite and Pest Control.
Razorback football, basketball, and baseball right here on your home of the Hogs. 103.7 The Buzz, KABZ, Little Rock.
Buzz News with Channel 7, Ryan Houston.
The Hot Spring County Sheriff is under arrest and facing undisclosed federal charges. Sheriff Scott Finkbeiner was arrested on a federal arrest warrant. The charges were not disclosed, but they are being handled by the U.S. Attorney's Office from the Western District of Arkansas. We could hear more from prosecutors as early as today. A shooting in Little Rock is now being investigated as a homicide after one of the victims died on Wednesday. Last week, officers responded to a shooting in the area of Baseline and Chico Roads. When they got there, they found 3 vehicles wrecked in the intersection. Upon their search, police found 15-year-old Samaj O'Neill shot in the head. He was taken to a hospital where he died. The other victims were taken to the hospital. 2 of them were treated and released. At last check, no arrests have been made. For more news and weather, download the free KTV News and weather apps from the Channel 7 newsroom. I'm Ryan Houston.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
Well, the warm-up continues. Mostly sunny today, a high around 68 degrees. Tonight's low just drops down to 43. 70s this weekend, upper 70s, close to 80 degrees possible early next week. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Today's special at the Riverfront Steakhouse in the Wyndham Hotel. Dinner for 2 for $60. Split a 10-ounce filet, fried shrimp, and our famous salad bar.
Where there's Razorback football, there's the First Security Bank fifth quarter postgame show. Join Randy Rainwater, Marcus Elliott, and Trey Schapp after each Razorback game right here on 103.7 The Buzz. Listen in as they interview players and coaches and discuss each week's outcome. Get inside the huddle and the locker room with 103.7 The Buzz, bringing you all the information you want to know. It's the First Security Bank fifth quarter postgame show, brought to you in part by Ortho Arkansas and Rainwater Holton Sexton.
Buy now, make no payments till February, plus available sales tax paid. Only at Frank Fletcher Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sherwood. You can get that new Dodge Chrysler Jeep or Ram that you've been waiting for and save your cash for the holidays. Drive home today and make no payments till next year. We've got 2.9% financing on all new Rams and up to $12,000 in discounts. And over 10% off on 23 Ram 2500s and 3500s. It's the best time to buy a new Ram heavy-duty truck. We're making deals every day like it's the last day of the month. At Fletcher Dodge, you always get the best price, the lowest finance rate, and more for your trade. And we promise you a hassle-free buying experience. Buy today and make no payments till February, plus available sales tax paid. Save up to $12,000 on new Ram Limiteds and over 10% off on Ram 2500 and 3500. Shop Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood before you buy anywhere else. Come see us in person at Fletcher Dodge on Warden Road in Sherwood or shop online at FletcherDeals.com.
David Dunn here with Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. We're the area's largest and highest rated independent diesel repair facility for all makes and models, from transmissions and brakes to suspensions and engine repair. If you're tired of high dealership prices and long wait times, come see what family owned and locally operated really means. Expert technicians and the latest computer diagnostics will get your equipment back on the road fast. Take the England exit on I-440 to Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer. 568-2185. That's Central Arkansas Truck and Trailer.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Shelter Agent Matt Warden in Little Rock, Seth Hobbs in Bryant, or Nick Gennardi in Sherwood.
Join Puppy Up Woodrock for a dog walk around MacArthur Park and a silent auction in the pavilion to fundraise for canine cancer research on Saturday, November 4th, 11 to 2 p.m. at the MacArthur Park Pavilion in downtown Woodrock. The walk starts at 1 p.m. The registration website is at puppyupwalk.org/Woodrock. For more information, contact Fran at puppyup.org or call 501-690-1903. That's 501-690-1903.
This is Pat Bradley for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union. Hunting season has arrived in Arkansas. Alcoa Community FCU has the perfect loan to cover all your hunting adventures, whether hunting the natural state or looking for a new travel trailer or going on an expedition. Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union will help get you there with the perfect loan. Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union, now serving Saline, Grant, Garland, Hot Spring, and Perry counties. Online at alcoacommunityfcu.org.
CZ Top. Leonard Skinnard. Two American institutions unite. The Sharp-Dressed Simple Man Tour. April 18th, Simmons Bank Arena. With Blackstone Cherry. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com. CC Top and Leonard Skinnard live.
Without a plan, the future is just what happens to you. In some ways, you can't have a future without a plan, because all you really have is what you're doing now and a hope that it all works out. Don't gamble your financial future on hope. Tune in to the Get Ready for the Future show for straight talk about retirement, investments, and your money. Saturdays at 10 a.m., now exclusively on 103.7 The Buzz. Genma Financial Advisors is a registered investment advisor with securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Live from the Eat My Catfish studios, it's time for Arkansas's Driven Sports Show. It's Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network with your hosts, Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaeffer. Lock it in and get ready to dial us up. Drive Time Sports is on the air.
Welcome back to hour number 3 of our Sonic Blast today here in Conway. The countdown is now on towards kickoff. Barry Grooms of Hooten's Arkansas Football Magazine, Kevin Bohannon. I'm Randy Rainwater. And the crowd continues to
Trickle
pour into what a difference of opinion. Trickle or pour?
It's because the stands are already full. Home side's already packed. All the way there at the top.
I do not know where they're going to put the rest of these folks. But anyway, all right, Bear, let's get this third hour started off with our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. This from Adam in Wynn. He says, does Wynn have a chance for the playoffs? And can the Yellow Jackets take down the Nettleton Raiders?
Well, they can, and yes, they do have a chance for the playoffs, and it's all contingent on taking down Nettleton. They've got to beat Nettleton to get in and get the playoffs, and if they do, they can finish the 3 or 4 seed. If they lose, they're out. Coach Toddy on Tuesday told me they would dress 33 players this week is all. His team ran for 327 yards against Forest City. Now, John Watson, his senior quarterback, who he's really high on, turned down opportunities to go play at other high schools once the tornado hit. He stuck with them and paying dividends. He had 120 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. Cy Mars and Braylon McDowell played well on defense. They've got to have a big night to stop this diverse attack of Nettleton. Nettleton last week put up 26 points to Valley View. Maddox Hampton, the junior quarterback, that's Coach Steve Hampton's son, passed for 226. Curtis Smith had 146 rushing. T.J. Brown had 104 rushing. 2 weeks ago, Smith and Brown both eclipsed the 150-yard rushing mark. So they got a lot of weapons they can use on offense. Throw in Xavier Harold, and you don't know who's going to hit you from this Nettleton team. So I think that could really give Wynn problems. But Wynn's at home with so much on the line for the Yellow Jackets. Hootens.com picks Wynn to get the victory, potentially be the number 3 seed. It's all contingent on what happens, though, between Batesville and Valley View. If Valley View wins, no issues. Wynn and Nettleton are both in. If Batesville pulls the upset, then we're going to go to the points tiebreaker system.
Yeah, that'll get a little tricky at that point because you had the 11-10 win of Batesville over Wynn a couple of weeks ago in a big matchup. Bear, Robinson and Pine Bluff, they're going to be scoreboard watching a little bit, but they got to take care of business on the field tonight.
Yeah.
One of these teams has the potential of being a 3 seed on the road, and that's trouble for whoever they play in the first round.
Oh, at Southside.
At Southside.
Yeah, at Southside. So Southside Batesville's really aware of it already, too. So 2 very athletic, good teams here. Joe T. Robinson, 7-2 records, 6-1 in conference. Identical records for Pine Bluff. The winner gets at least the 2 seed, potentially the number 1 seed. The loser is going to be that number 3 seed. Robinson's won 6 straight league championships, though Pine Bluff hasn't won a conference title since 2017.
Wow.
Robinson, week 8, lost its first conference game in 3 years. They bounced back last week, destroyed Whitehall 41-19. Nick Abrams, he's been kind of a catalyst for this team all season. He played really well. Pine Bluff had the week off last week to get healthy. And, of course, Courtney Crutchfield making big plays. Marquez Brentley. I mean, this could be a little bit of a shootout in Pine Bluff. Hootens.com picking the Zebras to get the victory over Joe T. Robinson.
And this from the Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. This from Jerry in Perryville. One about those Mustangs taking on the Newport Greyhounds tonight.
Yep, the winner gets the number 2 seed in the home playoff game. Perryville's defense played really well last week, held Salem to a season-low 16 points, shut them out in the first half. The problem's been Perryville's offense. They haven't been able to get much going. Newport thinks it's going to be able to get something going with Luke Reynolds and Amani Red, both of them sophomores who stand out on offense. And then Coach Brian Reardon, the coach at Newport, formerly the coach at Southside Batesville, he thinks that they've got potential to score a touchdown on defense or special teams to kind of win this game. Hootens.com picks the Greyhounds.
Bear, Little Rock Parkview, and I know they haven't flown under the radar. They're the best team in the state and definitely the best team in 5A. But we haven't talked about them on our Sonic Blast as much this year because they play a lot of Thursday games. And when they play games on Friday, it seems they're playing against a team they're going to beat by 50 anyway. Tonight they play against Camden Fairview.
Yeah. Yep.
Camden Fairview playing for a lot right here. They could end up 7-3, 5-2 with the major upset. Little Rock Parkview looking for that 10-0 season. Number 1 in the state, number 1 in the playoffs, number 1 in the 5A South. This game, Coach Nick Vaughn playing against his former team.
Yeah, he really wants to win this game, but he knows he's got his work cut out. And Coach Vaughn told me he's probably going to be without 3 starters who are unable to play this week. He's hoping to get them back next week. So, Fairview may have to rest some guys to get ready for this playoffs. And Parkview's going to repeat as conference champion. And it's just pick your poison. Is it Montario, Money Elston? Is it going to be Omarion Robinson? Is it going to be Cameron Settles? Who are you going to stop? Who's going to make a big play on defense out of that group? It's just so much talent on Parkview's team. Maybe the most talented team in the entire state, guys. Hootens.com picks Parkview over Fairview, and I think both teams have their eyes set on next week in the playoffs.
All right, let's see, Bear. We have talked about the Searcy game just a moment ago. This one from the 501. How is the 4A conference with Mayflower, Clinton, and CAC all battling for that top spot?
We'll let you know tonight.
Yeah.
Here's my paper. I was going to send it to Kevin this week, but the email
was too long.
It was too large of a file.
It really is.
Too much. All right. So Bogsack got the win. Bogsack is the conference champ if CAC loses tonight. CAC plays Lamar. If Lamar wins, then Bogsack's the conference champ. Lamar is the 2 seed. We could have a 4-way tie for third since Bogsack won. We could have Lamar, Pottsville, Mayflower, Clinton, or we could have CAC, Pottsville, Mayflower, Clinton. If it's the first scenario with Lamar in that mix, Mayflower's the 3 seed, Lamar's the 4, Clinton's the 5th, Pottsville is the odd man out. So Pottsville has become the biggest Lamar fans there are tonight. If CAC loses tonight,
or CAC
Clinton
wins,
and Mayflower both win, which they're predicted to do so. Yeah, no, if they lose and drop down in that tie, they go to 4. Clinton is 3, CAC's 4, Pottsville is 5, and Mayflower is the odd team out. So now, we could have 3-way ties. That's the 4-way tie scenario. There's a 3-way tie and there's a 2-way tie scenario too. So it's a lot of tricky things. I read the most likely scenario, but really there are about 12 different scenarios, 15 different scenarios tonight that could take place in the 4-4A.
I must tell you this. I had to pass this along. Doug Wilson, Grayson's dad, sent me a note saying, "Thank you, Bear. You probably just now put CAC in the playoffs because you picked against us." So that may be just the difference. All that's needed.
But they're they're in the playoffs, but man, they can be anywhere between the conference champ and the number 4. A lot on the line for them tonight.
Yeah, it helped last night that
the number 1 seed gets the first round playoff bye.
Yeah, Haskell Harmony Grove losing last night really helped CAC's cause out quite a bit, because if they were to lose tonight and that game turned out different, but ifs and buts, candy and nuts. Blytheville and Rivercrest conference title in the 3-4A, Bear.
Last week, I think we said on the scoreboard show, Little Luster was knocked off this game by Blytheville losing last week to Pocahontas. But the winner of this game is still going to get a conference championship. It's just not the conference championship. The loser goes the 2 seed. Blytheville could sink down to that number 3 seed. But, Blytheville's got a lot to play for and a lot to try to win here. And they've got to do so. They had a defense last week, defensive issues. They cannot stop Pocahontas' ground attack. Pocahontas ran for 360 yards on them. Rivercrest is going to employ the scenario with Kobe Turner. They'll put Michael Rayner back there. And, of course, Kavonte Washington, the junior quarterback, has played well. So running and passing. So look for that. Look for Rivercrest to really try to run the ball, control the clock. Hootens.com picks the Colts to get the W and would be the number 1 seed and likely move Blytheville all the way down to the 3 seed.
And we want to say thank you for all that have sent us feedback concerning the interference that we've been battling and dealing with, and your patience. We hope that the majority of the interference has moved inside John McConnell Stadium, and hopefully there'll be less interference with our signal. So thank you for your patience. This from the 501 Bear from our Southern Structural Solutions Buzz text line. Hazen Carlisle. Enough said.
Yeah. Is it? And we talked about 2 really great games last night in 2A. All right, a good game tonight. One of the few huge, big school games that's going to have that electric at as electric as this average night of Carlisle Hazen playing for a conference championship. 11 miles separate the 2 schools. The Bison dominated the series in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Then Hazen has just come on as of late. Hazen beat Carlisle twice last season, once in Week 10 for the conference championship, and again a month later for a state championship. Hazen's only lost this season to Desart, who Carlisle beat 2 weeks later. Carlisle's lone loss came to Class 3A Junction City. But the Bison didn't look sharp last week, had to rally to beat England by 9 points. Hazen, though, didn't look exceptionally sharp with Bearden. I mean, these 2 teams have been focused on each other for a couple of weeks. Gary Wilson, the first-year coach of Carlisle, he was defensive coordinator a year ago. He's putting the ball in the air a little more, putting a little more on Holden Jones, the quarterback. Hazen's got Braylon Anderson. They're going to run the football at you. Hazen has home field advantage. Another classic Carlisle-Hazen game. Hootens.com picks Hazen to get the narrow victory over Carlisle.
And let's head to Greenwood, Arkansas, suburb of Fort Smith. Kyle Sutherland, RJ Hawk standing by. I can only imagine the excitement that we are feeling here, Kyle. I got to believe it's the same, if not greater, there in Greenwood, as this has been the dream matchup almost from the start of the season. Greenwood hosting Little Rock Christian.
Most definitely the state, and you can pretty much pick whichever game just about any corner you want to go to. But here we got not only the 6A West Championship on the line, but got a rare opportunity to see 2 ranked quarterbacks, nationally ranked quarterbacks, against each other in Arkansas.
Kyle, both these defenses have been playing really well of late. Little Rock Christian, ever since that loss to Shiloh Christian, has given up, I think, 20 points since then. And Greenwood playing well. They pretty much shut down PA last week as much as you can. Do you think, as much attention has been played to offense, do you think the defense decides the game tonight?
Very well could be, Kevin. You look at last week in the PA game there, PA hung with them for pretty much the entire first half, and then they ran away with it. Greenwood did in the third quarter, really, because of turnovers. So I think that could really become the difference. And also on the other side of Little Rock Christian, since the Shiloh Christian game that you mentioned, they've allowed just over 6.2 points per game in just 10 the last 2 weeks. So definitely the way that both of these defenses have been playing, I would probably say they're if not the 2 best, then certainly 2 of the top 3.
All right, Kyle, maybe one of the underrated aspects of this Greenwood offense is the running game. And while they suffered all the early season injuries to the quarterback position, the running game carried the Greenwood Bulldogs. What should we expect tonight from the rushing attack of Greenwood?
Well, Braden Davis, of course, over 1,000-yard rusher. He moved over from defense last year, but one thing that makes him such a weapon on top of what he does on the ground is they don't have to change personnel whenever they pass because he's a great receiver as well. So just adding that dimension just brings something else for him.
And Kyle, one thing, Randy, guys, I just stepped in here, but one thing that we saw last week with this Greenwood team, Wesley Raggio, he's a good complementary back to Davis whenever he wants to come out, get a breather. They've got a good backup in Raggio to run the ball.
Yeah, if they need him, absolutely. He's been proven this year, like you said, just a sophomore. And Braden, that was his first time last year. So, I mean, just another example of how Greenwood, not just at running back, but just their positions in general, how they play every single year.
RJ, Kyle, is this maybe the best group, best core of wide receivers in the state, regardless, for the Greenwood Bulldogs?
I definitely say they're up there. You look at Fayetteville, of course, what Benton's been able to do with Maddox Davis and Elias Payne. There's a whole heap that you could really point to. But when you talk about Grant Carnes, then you also talk about L.J. Robinson, Isaiah Arrington really showed his speed. We've seen his speed all season long, but also made a lot of plays against PA last week. So I think between those three right there, and then you got three quality ones for Little Rock Christian too. You look at Tate Collins and also Cade Bowman, the sensational seniors right there. Also Tristan Watson, the sophomore. Yeah, just a sophomore, and he leads the team in touchdowns. So on both sides here, you got three that can really get the job done.
I think if you take out the opening game of the season, which Little Rock Christian was handled pretty effectively by Shiloh Christian, they may be allowing a half a point a game since then. They made some defensive adjustments, and guys, that is one nasty defense for the Warriors of Little Rock Christian.
Well, Randy, I was looking at this so we were going on the air. Rock Christian is like 9.6 points per game. You throw that game against Shiloh Christian out, this is a team that's averaging less than 5 points a game given up. And they have been a really good – it was kind of an eye-opening moment for Little Rock Christian because, they had already played a game going into that. They kind of thought they had a little bit more of a groove, and Shiloh hit them in the mouth. And I think from that point forward, they realized where their vulnerabilities were and what they need to get better on. And we knew how good Walker White was. We knew at the time we knew about Inoki and some others, but they've only gotten better since that point. And it's going to be as much offense as I'm looking forward to see tonight. Defense is going to be even more impressive to watch.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Because as far as the Walker White, like you said, the biggest question. Or go ahead, Randy.
Oh, no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think we lost him, RJ. Now there he is.
We're dealing.
I was just going to mention that last year the biggest thing with Walker White was, how can he be more accurate this year? Can he have a better flow with his receivers? Even Coach Cohue had mentioned that before the Shiloh Christian game. But just like what Shiloh did to them, or what Little Rock Christian did to Shiloh last year that really springboarded them, that game did just the opposite and really benefited the Warriors this time around.
Yeah, I think Bo Williams rushed for 2,000 yards in that game. All right, guys, have a great call. We look forward to hearing Little Rock Christian and those Greenwood Bulldogs, and I'm sure we'll be hearing from Ho-Hum Tim Terry a little bit later on in the Ortho Arkansas High School Football Scoreboard Show. Good luck, guys.
Randy, Tim told me to tell you that he's got your hot dog ready for you, and just make your way back up here.
Yeah, I know. I got hot dogs. You got pizza, or maybe you got a 4-course meal, knowing
steak dinner.
Yeah, that's what I expect out of Tim Terry, knowing I'm not there.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a great call. All right, Bear.
How you doing, boys?
Thanks, guys. See you.
Let's go back to our Southern Structural Solutions buzz text line. Randy, please ask Bear and Kevin to discuss the 6A playoff scenarios.
Well, in the 6A West, the winner between Little Rock Christian Greenwood, the game we just talked about, Randy, the winner's the 1 seed, the loser is the 2 seed. Pulaski Academy is going to be that 3 seed. Mountain Home Greenbrier playing probably for the 4 or 5 seed, although their Greenbrier could slip down to the 6, and Russell will get in as the 5 seed. In the East, Benton is the 1 seed. Marion is the 2 seed.
That's all we know.
Little Rock Catholic, if they beat Marion, Catholic gets the 3 seed. If they If they lose, they could tumble down to 6. Yeah. And West Memphis and Searcy are in the playoffs anywhere between 4 and 6 seeds.
Yeah. And Eldorado's in, right, Bear?
Yeah, and Eldorado's in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And their in is either the
5 or 6.
seed,
Yeah, depending on if Catholic loses because of that 1-point win last week by El Dorado. That's a big game for El Dorado last week. And, of course, they play Jacksonville tonight. Should get a win. Chris Hill just wins. That's all he does. Everywhere he goes, he just wins. So El Dorado could be peaking at the right time of the year. Very impressed by their young sophomore quarterback last week.
So what you said, if and but,
That's right.
But. We'll find out tonight at the 10 o'clock hour about the Ortho Arkansas High School Football Scoreboard Show. There is no ifs. There is no buts. It will be on at 10 o'clock tonight. All right, we'll come back and wrap it up here from Conway. Our Sonic Blast will continue in a moment.
Join the Zone each weekday for the Entertainment Report, brought to you by Bell and Sword of Conway. Find out the very latest breaking news and entertainment each day on the Zone. Justin, West, and Christian will dish out what stars and celebrities have going on, and you can catch it each day. Bell and Sword has everything for the best dressed man, from boots to suits. Check them out on Facebook or Instagram. Bell and Sword at their new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
Land specialist Mike Poor at Whitetail Properties Real Estate chose forestry as his profession and has been a registered forester for over 30 years. As an accredited land consultant, Mike speaks land. He can help buyers like you find attributes on property that you might have overlooked or not fully understood. He also knows how to market property and negotiate transactions, understanding the needs of each party and providing solutions by being innovative, creative, and diligent. Call Mike Ford today at 501-428-7177. whitetailproperties.com.
Howie, we talk about different. Tell me about the RIJ way.
We just listen to our customers.
Like what?
Like the meant to be guarantee.
That's 365 days to return your custom made engagement ring, right?
Exactly. And that happened because we had a customer, a young man, spent over $14,000 in our store. And after 6 months, and we gave him his money back. That's the RIJ way.
That's how the meant to be guarantee started?
That's exactly how it started, Danny. Bigger, brighter diamonds, better prices. Robert Irwin Jewelers or online at rijewelers.com.
Your home for Dallas Cowboys football is 103.7 The Buzz. Presented by Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. America's team on your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
There's nothing quite like outdoor living. And at Razorback Camper Sales, we've been bringing the camping lifestyle to families for over 50 years. We're Arkansas's oldest family-owned RV dealer with the best parts and service department in the state. Razorback Camper Sales has everything you need for travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups. Find out why our customers are always happy campers. Come see us in Hot Springs or online at razorbackcampersales.com.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company.
Agent Dan Cook in North Little Rock, Becky Bradley in Sherwood, or today.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months. And River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard, just off 430.
Arkansas State Parks are your passport to explore every it has to offer. To our scenic beauty. With unexpected get a unique look at our state's history. Each one of our 52 state parks offers something just a little bit different. So pick up your passport at any state park visitor center. Plan your trip at arkansasstateparks.com.
Brought to you by this station and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports, live from the Eat My Catfish studios, where it's much like any of the 7 Eat My Catfish locations, minus the always fresh, delicious food options like the family pack catfish dinners. You've got Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Here is Randy Rainwater.
Welcome back to Drive Time Sports on the Buzz Radio Network. Our Sonic Blast continues here from Conway as the Wampus Cats are hosting the Bryant Hornets. Barry Grooms of Hooten's Arkansas Football Magazine, Kevin Buchanan, I'm Randy Rainwater. We are now joined by an Arkansas. He is fresh from Leeds, Alabama, now back to Conway, Arkansas.
Right.
Lives near Batesville. Won't get specific, but let's just say in the Batesville area. So here on hand for tonight's Wampus Cat Hornet game is the legend, Kanan Sandy.
Well, guess what happened? I think that on the night game night, I came back. Let's be a good play good. I got Oxford over for we play for tomorrow day. Guess what Oxford so proud to for me. I like because pay man his point. I got Oxford over other dog gets fuller.
I saw your prediction.
Yes.
That you believe that Arkansas is going to win, and
I think so.
You
yes.
went big.
Big score.
Mom.
Want to get loose this game. And guess what? One more day. I go swear. Oxford, we'll play Auburn next week. After 3:00 game. We'll be upset with over Auburn.
Let's play one at a time.
Let's
play one at a time, Kanan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Oxford give away Florida and Oxford get win. I want Florida lose. And the Florida go. I'm not pressed for it at all. I got Oxford wins.
Yeah, I think you 2-10, something like that, if I remember correctly.
Well,
he didn't hold back anything. Kanan never holds back anything.
Anything.
My friend, I love you.
I love you. God.
I'm so glad to see you all the way from Alabama.
Thank you so much. God.
That's a man right there. Kanan Sandy. And the world can only handle one Kanan Sandy. And we love the man. All right. I'll take one last hug. All right, buddy. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's do this one instead. Because Jody Robinson okay, let's talk about Bear. Thoughts on the big matchup between, well, that one loaded up anyway. It didn't care what I thought. My attentions were
good.
Okay. All right, Bear, let's do this while this loads up. The 7A through 2A games of the week.
Well, 7A, Randy, is no shocker. Number 4 Bryant at number 1 Conway. People been waiting on this game since about 10 a.m. on May 30th when it became public knowledge that Buck James was coach at Conway. I think we got tipped off about 8 a.m. that morning. But, man, it has been quite the whirlwind, and rarely do you see something that you look forward to for 5 or 6 months come to fruition like this. Conference championship on the line, number 1 seed, both teams unbeaten in conference play. Conway 9-0, Bryant 8-1. Conway led by Donovan Amalo at quarterback. Chris O'Neill been real impressed with him on offense, and then a host of guys on defense. And for Bryant's offense, it's been Mytorian Singleton. Seems like for 3 years he's done nothing but make big plays. And James Martin, a good running back. 3 weeks ago even, they thought Conway by 3 touchdowns. Right now, going Conway, and it may be by just a point or a field goal. I think this is one of those games that goes right down to the wire. Bryant is playing so much better the past couple of weeks, but still going with Conway. In Class 6A, number 2 Little Rock Christian at number 1 Greenwood. Conference championship, number 1 playoff seed, home field advantage throughout the playoffs, all those good things on the line. These teams have just steamrolled opponents this week. Greenwood led by sophomore quarterback Kane Archer. Little Rock Christian led by quarterback Walker White, who's committed to Auburn. And the defense of Little Rock Christian playing exceptionally well. But as Kevin alluded to earlier, Greenwood on a 60-game home winning streak. And for that fact, Hootens.com takes Greenwood in a close one. The 5A game of the week, not as much on the line, but still quite a bit. Number 7, Joe T. Robinson at number 5, Pine Bluff. The winner gets at least the number 2 playoff seed. Hootens.com picks Pine Bluff in that one. The 4A game of the week, another conference championship on the line. Malvern at Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia's won conference titles 3 of the past 5 seasons. And get this, they haven't lost a conference game since week 5 of 2021. So they're on a 2.5-year winning streak in conference play. Malvern, the defending state champion, hasn't won a conference title since 1997. But the Leopards this year haven't lost to an in-state opponent. Their only losses were to Walnut Grove out of Prosper, Texas, and DeSoto, Mississippi, and played very well in both of those games. Malvern has Jalen Dupree. He's a difference maker, and Hootens.com picks the Leopards to get the W. Class 3A, huge matchup. Number 8, Walnut Ridge. Number 6, Hoxie. Winner gets the 3A title. Both teams headed into this game on a roll. Walnut Ridge won 3 straight. Hoxie unbeaten this season. Hootens.com picks Hoxie. Remember last year, this was a 1-point game. I think it could be very similar this year. And then Class 5A, the big one, or Class 2A rather, the big one, maybe as big of a game as we have in the state in a night loaded with marquee matchups. Number 3, Carlisle at number 4, Hazen for a conference championship. And looking at the playoff brackets, I think both of these teams are poised for big playoff runs. Hazen beat Carlisle twice last season.
That plug is so far away from that. I don't know how it did that. But it did it.
I'll let Barry know we got knocked off. Maybe if the text goes through.
We only got 6 minutes, so I guess we'll go ahead and start breaking down.
Crap. That's amateur hour right there.
Here we go.
Are we back?
In the 5A East, Valley View is favored over Batesville, and that one's going to have a lot to say about a conference championship. Valley View is a conference that have a lot to say about playoff seeding.
Well, I'd like to blame it on somebody, anybody, but I'll have to blame it on myself. I accidentally kicked off the power.
That's all right.
Had
to happen at some point.
I mean, in 33 years on the job, I think that's the first time I've ever made a mistake. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Barry, have we talked about Bentonville West? I know you were hitting on key matchups
No.
with playoff implications, but that's for the number 2 seed in a playoff bye.
No, that's
so
huge.
Great game tonight. Carter Nye,
Number
Dalton
2
Rice,
seed,
2 really
you're
good
right.
quarterbacks.
And Bentonville has never lost to Bentonville West, which makes this even much more of a game. You know, Bentonville West feels it's got to get a victory at some point in the series. Bentonville is 7-0 all time against West. Now, West looked really good last week against Southside. Kevin, we said last week it'd be the first team to 50, and the teams didn't even combine for 50 points.
First team to 20.
But, yeah, that's what it was. But we do pick Bentonville to keep that streak alive. And as you said, Dalton Rice playing well. You've got Carter Nye for Bentonville. He can return to his full strength, Bentonville is going to be a team to be reckoned with C.J. Brown out there at receiver and kick return. He had a 97-yard kick return last week for a touchdown.
All right, a couple of quick program notes before we run out of time. We have got the game of the week coming up in just a matter of moments, and it will be a classic that is in Greenwood. We've kind of stepped outside our boundaries, so to speak, and we are there tonight for the Little Rock Christian and Greenwood Bulldog game. And our Sonic Blast was here today in Conway, and this is going to be a monster showdown. And then later on tonight, 10 o'clock. And Kev, I've been doing with Bear for over 20 plus years. And I got to tell you, no one gets this not only as fast as what Barry does, but as accurate as what Barry does.
He's the Joe Lenardi of high school.
I don't think he's ever messed up. Have you, Bear? And
we won't admit it, but there have been a few.
I can't remember. Okay, how about that? I can't remember.
Good.
But that is 10 o'clock tonight for the Ortho Arkansas High School Football Scoreboard Show, immediately following Little Rock Christian and Greenwood. And then tomorrow night, well, actually tomorrow afternoon, we actually get a tomorrow afternoon opportunity. Now, 7 o'clock in the morning, it will be Trey Schapp along with David Basil for Hog Wild from Gainesville. And then, of course, we turn it over to Learfield. And then an hour following the completion of the Arkansas-Florida game, it will be the First Security fifth quarter post-game show. So it is a busy time for the Buzz. And then, believe it or not, Monday night, we start basketball with the Arkansas basketball Razorbacks as they take on Alcorn State. So all that right here in front of us. And, man, this is the night I think is –
there's all the seeds, baby.
Look at Kevin.
Bracketology.
Look at
I've
Kevin.
learned from Barry. We've had some good conversations this week about what could happen, who's going to go where, some really good matchups. I'm looking forward to tonight. We'll be at the station for the Ortho Arkansas High School Football Scoreboard Show. If we could just get Barry up there, we'd have a party tonight.
So are you saying that you've been learning at the knee of the master?
Absolutely.
There
Absolutely.
You go. All right. We got to say so long and goodbye for Barry Grooms of Hooten's Arkansas Football Magazine, Kevin Bohannon. I'm Randy Rainwater. Have a great rest of the night. Stay tuned. That game of the week, Greenwood, Little Rock Christian, coming right at you. Stay tuned.